Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is currently 5:21 p.m. on Thursday, and this is Thursday's vlog. I can hardly believe that I am early for once, but I woke up today and I was in such a fantastic mood and I had so much energy, and I just sat down and started filming videos right away. I did a review of these coffee steep bags that Michael from Popology had given me. What is hanging off back here? Like a hair or something. And then I did my Peterisms video, and then I got some stuff done around the house. And now I am going to get my coffee for the day, even though it's really late. I'm hoping that Starbucks is not closed yet. And then I thought I would vlog for a little bit. I thought I would attempt to do a longer vlog today. I'm like, which way would be faster to go? This way? Okay, this way. I thought I would attempt to do a little bit of a longer vlog today. And by longer, I mean, I'm going to try to hit the 3-hour vlog today. I don't know that it's gonna happen. I know that you all are going like stopping it and you're like, how long is the vlog? How long is the vlog? Did he make it? I don't even know. Right now, as I speak, you know, but I don't know if I made it or not. And so I'm gonna try to vlog a little bit throughout the day. When I was on the way over here, it just occurred to me before I started vlogging, oh, I think they're closed. I'm gonna have to go to another Starbucks if they're closed. Maybe not, maybe they're not closed. I think they close at 5:30. Hold on just a second, let me order my coffee. Are they still open? Fingers crossed. Could I please get a venti iced blonde Americano with an extra shot and 2 Splenda? That's it. Thank you. I'm wearing different sunglasses today. These are the sunglasses that I'm wearing. These are these like Key. I know it looks like Quay, but it's Key sunglasses, and they're plastic and they're so comfortable. I feel like they kind of look like blue blockers a little bit, you know, like those sunglasses. How are you guys doing? Or how are you doing?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
I thought you would be closed already.
No, open till 7:30.
Did you guys not change your hours?
No.
Why did I think you changed your hours?
Well, we did for like a week for training, but other than that, we haven't changed.
Okay. There's another one, the one off of 96th Street. It closes at 4 o'clock now.
Really?
You know, don't you wish you worked there?
I had to get up so early. Okay.
All right, thank you. Hi, Veronica.
How are you, Peter?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Just got back from my break.
How is your break?
I got to go sit outside.
Good. It's nice.
It is nice.
It looks like it's gonna rain, but it's kind of like one of those nice summer
I
days, you
said
know?
the same thing. I was sitting in the window like an hour ago, and I was like, guys, I hope your windows are rolled up, because it feels like it could rain outside.
Well, I think I heard thunder. The thunder roll, like Garth Brooks used to say. Hey, how are you doing? Do you have your nails painted, Jake? Let me see. So, I'm like real into the nail polish now. I went and bought tons of it.
Me too. Sally Hand said Insta-dry because I have the patience of a toddler.
Does it work really well? Let me see that color again. It's like light blue. Can I show it? I'm vlogging, actually.
Look at my nails.
So.
Don't tell my manager.
I like it though.
Thank you.
Come with me next time I get my nails done.
The color is Time.
Time, that's what it's called.
Like the plant, not like the flower.
I just want to do like one nail.
Yeah, like I thought about like doing one like mustard yellow, like my finger. Or I've seen like people do like evening designs.
Well, the other thing I want to do is, have you seen them where like with black nail polish, they do like one little small line across there? Like, but I don't know how to do that.
I know, I'm not. I think that I would literally have to do masking tape.
Well, I've thought about that actually.
Special things for your nails that you can paint it. Yeah.
Where do you get them?
You could try like a Sally's.
I bet Walmart might even have them.
Like little designs. Like,
Meyer has tons of nail polish.
that's where I went.
That's where I went to. We gotta go nail polish shopping one of these days. Bye, guys. I'm like so in the mood for Halloween, even though it's summer. I'm not trying to rush things because you know I love summer, but I brought out my black cup today because, you know, Melissa and I are nonstop talking about this podcast that we're starting for the horror movie podcast. And so I've been like, what did I watch yesterday? I watched Jeepers Creepers 2. I love those Jeepers Creepers movies. The first one's really scary. The second one is not so scary. Okay, let me show you my new socks that I just purchased. Look, they came in this nice little thing. I got them because Tanya's son, Nick, had them on the other day. And he had them with like slides, you know? And I was like, Nick, I said, those socks are so cute. I said, where did you get them? And he goes, my mom got them for me. And so we were trying to read the brand, and the brand is Stance, S-T-A-N-C-E. Now, they were expensive. I'll show you the ones that Nick had on first, because I got the exact same pair. And see, they say Stance on the bottom of them. And they were $19.99. These look like a little shorter than his. But how cute are these? Aren't those so cute to wear with, like, Vans or slides or something like that? And then, I got these as well. Don't you love that? Oh my God, they're so cute. One was like $14.99. Well, I have actually the receipt right here, so I can tell you how much they were. You've got great taste, it says. Thanks for ordering from Sports Basement. They were out at the Stance website that I went to. Oh, it doesn't say how much they were. This pair, though, is called the Curran St. Croix. I think these were $14.99 and these were $19.99. These are like sold out like everywhere. And these are called the Pau St. Croix. So anyway, and they have all those like tall socks that like my brother-in-law and my nephews wear for baseball and stuff like that. Anyway, very cool. So anyway, I was saying about my sunglasses. I love like these kind of sunglasses from Key, but sometimes, and well, I will say these things right here, they break off like really easily. You can tell this one's loose. Yeah, they break off really easily. I just had to throw away a pair the other day. You can get new ones to put them on there, but they never like quite sit the same, I don't think. So, but they're kind of like those sunglasses, as much as I like them, they're comfortable, but like they kind of like if you wear them over time, they kind of hurt your nose right here. They're very lightweight, but these they're plastic and they're so comfortable. I love these. And I don't ever wear this hat either. I'm wearing the shark hat. I'm trying to like, well, I've been wearing it more and more lately, but so I shouldn't say never. I'm trying to, because I know that somebody will be like, you said never, but you wear those like all the time. I'm trying to like break it in so that it's like my more regular hat, because the thing is that I wore that silver fox hat for so long. Oh my God, the battery is already at the halfway mark. I wore that silver fox hat so much that it's so broken in that I want to break my other hats in too, that are from Gorin, and I just need to start wearing them more. But anyway, when I was on my way over here, I am all over the place today. When I was on my way over here, I was like thinking about what drama video I was going to do, and I had an idea, but it was about Jeffree Star, and I've done Jeffree Star videos the last 2 days, so I wasn't really sure that I wanted to do another Jeffree Star video, and I was like, oh, I forgot that Gabby Hanna had posted a video in her series last night, but, oh shoot. I just was like, I'm gonna go this way. Even if I get stuck in a little bit of traffic, it won't be that bad, and then I can vlog a little bit. But I forgot, like, the traffic is so bad, construction-wise, going this way. But anyway, Gabby Hanna's video is like an hour long. So even if I watch it at 2 times speed, that's still like 30 minutes that I have to watch it before I make a video responding to it or giving my commentary about what I think. So Alex works until about 8 or 8:30 tonight. He worked real late last night too. He had a bunch of stuff he's trying to catch up on and get done. And so he works till about 8 or 8:30 tonight. So I'm gonna vlog for just probably 20 or 30 minutes, and then I might make a booktube video while I'm out too. Just kind of talking about the books I've read recently, because I haven't done a vlog like that lately. I also want to do a vlog talking about the 2 books from Peter's book club from the last month, because I finished the 2 books. I didn't read the other 2 that I said I was going to read, which were The Silent Patient, which was Alec Michaelides' last book, and I didn't read Beach Read, which was Emily Henry's last book, but I am going to read those. Right now I am reading A Good Day for Chardonnay, which is the sequel. I love this little cute, it's like the Range Rover Equus or something. Evoque. That little small thing, I like that. I think it's cute. I mean, cute for a Range Rover that's probably $50,000 or more, you know? I guess cute's probably not the word, but anyway. I'm currently listening to A Good Day for Chardonnay by Dorinda Jones, which is a sequel to A Bad Day for Sunshine. It's very similar to the first one, same characters, same kind of like mystery. It actually brings in a lot of what happened in the first one into the second one, and I'm really loving it. It's long though. It's like 12 hours. I think it's 12 hours or 12 hours and 8 minutes, I think, or something. And I'm only like a third of the way into it, but I'm loving it. If I finish this book and another book this weekend, I will have read, I think, 17 books in July, which is crazy to me. 16 or 17 books. Or maybe 15 or 16. No, I think it's 16 or 17. And I will be at 62 books for the year, which my goal is to read 102 books for the year, which means the next 5 months, I just need to read 8 books a month, which I'm way ahead of that anyway. But what I really want to do is, I want to, like, be to the point where I'm like, I've met my goal. I would love to have met my goal by the end of November, like around Thanksgiving, so that for like the month of December, I can read like longer books. Because there's quite a few longer books that I want to finish, or that I want to read. I wanted to read The Stand. I bought The Stand. I want to read, oh shoot, A Little Life, which is really long. Okay, The Stand is like 47 hours long. A Little Life is like 31. I keep on thinking that I want to finish Helter Skelter, which is super long too, but I don't know that I really care, in all honesty. And there's a zombie trilogy that I want to read called Rotten Ruin. I may just start that next month though. But anyway, I'm having so much fun reading right now. I'm like reading so many great books. And I'm currently reading that Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion, but I just read a little bit at a time, and I'm just like loving that book. And I need to take a night and just like sit outside and read. So I have like, I don't know if it's having been going to the pool a lot lately or something, but I've been thinking a lot about that movie Cocoon. Do you guys remember that movie from back in the day? Okay, so if you don't know the movie Cocoon, it was like, when it came out, it was like when my mom and my aunt and my uncle and stuff were like, they weren't older, but they were like probably close to my age. And it was with like Don Amici and I can't remember the other actors, but it was like Steve Guttenberg's in it, but he's not. He played the guy that rowed the boat or drove the boat. And it had like 6 older actors in it. Oh, the guy that was in that show, Our House, he's like the main guy in it. I can't think of his name now. But anyway, and it was about these older people that lived in this nursing home. And so this guy, these aliens come to Earth. I know the idea sounds cheesy, but it was such a great movie when it came out. And these aliens come to Earth, and they have these cocoons in the ocean. And these cocoons have this like unbelievable life force, right? That they can like make like illness go away, and they can make you like never age and stuff like that. So they put them in this pool at this nursing home, and they start swimming. These older people start swimming in this pool, and they get the benefits of this. And then at the end of the movie, not to ruin it for you, but there's nowhere you can watch it. Truly, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. At the end of the movie, they go away with the aliens to their planet. Well, there's a sequel to it called Cocoon Returns, and it's about, they come back because a couple of the cocoons that they left here are like in danger because there's going to be like an earthquake or something that like there's seismic activity or something that's putting them in danger. And then the one cocoon gets found by the St. Petersburg, it's in St. Petersburg, Florida, St. Petersburg Oceanographic Institute. And so I have been wanting to watch Cocoon because I loved this movie the first time. It just started raining. I loved this movie the first time that it came out, and I wanted to see it again. And I was like, it has been so long since I've seen that movie, and it's such a fantastic movie. And I don't know, just like swimming in the summer, and you know, my neighbors being older and stuff like that, it just reminded me of it. So I have tried everywhere to find this movie, and I don't want to watch it like on DVD and all that kind of stuff, because I don't even, to be honest with you, we never use our DVD player anymore. I don't even really know how to use it. I know that's horrible. I mean, I could sit down there and watch it if I wanted to, but I don't want to order it and then sit down there and watch it. Alex isn't going to want to watch it anyway, you know? So, but you can't stream it from anywhere. You can't buy it on iTunes, but I did buy last night on iTunes. I bought Trip to Bountiful with Geraldine Page, because it's like one of my favorite movies of life. And I've been buying movies on iTunes, so that some of my favorite movies I would always have. Like, I have The Incredible Shrinking Woman. I have Looker. Did you ever see that movie, Looker? Oh my God. It was with the, why can't I think of his name? Not Michael Caine, Albert Finney. And then he plays a plastic surgeon. And then the girl that was, well, the woman, but when she was a girl, she was like the oldest sister in Partridge Family. Is it Susan Day? Is that her name? So she was in that. But anyway, so last night I rented and started watching Cocoon: The Return, and it is so good. I totally forgot how great those movies were. So I got like halfway through it last night. I listened to my audiobook forever last night, and then for like an hour and a half. And then I watched Cocoon: The Return, part of it, before I went to bed. I stayed up too late last night. But I had fun watching that. And then I also downloaded Nomadland. I didn't download it, I rented it. Nomadland with I can't speak today, I don't know what's wrong. Nomadland with Frances McDormand, because that was the movie that I've been wanting to watch. And so yeah, I watched that. Or I didn't watch it, I rented it. I'm gonna watch it sometime this weekend. Well, Alex is going to that thing on Saturday night, so I'll probably watch it maybe Saturday night. I think it's a long movie. I think it's like 2.5 hours long or something. I just love her so much, Frances McDormand. Do you guys love her? She like is, to me, in that echelon of like, she's like in the same category as why can't I think of her name? I always want to say Annie Potts, but I loved Annie Potts on Designing Women and Pretty in Pink. The one that was in Holly Hunter. I love Holly Hunter so much. Holly Hunter and Frances McDormand kind of remind me of each other. And Julianne Moore. The three of them kind of remind me of each other a little bit. And my favorite actresses of life are Jessica Lange. And not just because American Horror Story, like, I loved her way back in the day. I mean, probably my favorite movie with my three favorite, not my favorite movie of life, but like that has a lot of my favorite actresses in it, is Crimes of the Heart. And it had Jessica Lange, Diane Keaton, and Sissy Spacek, which all three of them are three of my favorite actresses of life. And if you've never seen Crimes of the Heart, it's just unbelievable. And it was a play first. I think it was a Marsha Norman play first. And Kathy Bates actually played the part of Diane Keaton's role of no, her name's not Babe. Babe is Sissy Spacek. She played the part of Diane Keaton on Broadway, I think. And she also played the role, I believe, of Sally Field played in Steel Magnolias on Broadway before it was turned in, or, you know, somewhere before it was turned into a movie, because Kathy Bates was like a stage actress before she was a movie actress. Angela Bassett did like a little guest thing on RuPaul's Drag Race this week. She's another one that I've loved forever. It's so funny to me when people when younger people are like, oh, I love Angela Bassett and Jessica Lange because of American Horror Story and stuff. I'm like, Angela Bassett, first of all, can we just talk about what's love got to do with it? Okay? I love that movie back in the day. And I love, love, love How Did Stella Get Her Groove Back. That is one of the most fantastic movies of life. And, oh God, that part where Whoopi Goldberg dies and she's like, who will be my best friend now? Oh my God, that part always breaks my heart. Now, just because I said I was going to try to make the 3-hour mark does not mean that I'm going to make the 3-hour mark. If I don't make it today, I'll try some other time to make it. Even Peter runs out of things to talk. Listen to me talk about myself in third person. Even I run out of things to talk about. That 3 hours is a long time to talk. But I thought if I did this and I posted it on a Friday, it would give you guys the weekend to watch the whole thing. See, I even thought through that. Oh my God, Angela Bassett and Waiting to Exhale. Well, first of all, Waiting to Exhale was so fantastic, and Whitney Houston in it was so good. And, you know, Whitney Houston never got much credit for being a great actress, which she was. You know, a lot of singers don't, like the crossover to being an actress is not great. Like, is that my friend Valerie? It's her car. No. You know, Madonna, like, I love Desperately Seeking Susan, but let's just be for real, Madonna is not the world's greatest actress. And, she just didn't, you know, it didn't transition well over to being an actress. But Whitney Houston was somebody that, she really was, like, a good actress as well. Like, The Bodyguard is, to this day, one of the greatest movies ever. You know, I haven't watched that movie in a long time either. I should watch that again. But there's so many movies that I want to see that I haven't seen. Not necessarily even new ones, like older ones. And, but Loretta Devine, who else is in that? Layla Rashawn. Who am I forgetting? Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, Layla Rashawn, Loretta Devine. Was that the 4 of them? I think that was the 4. It was such a great movie. Crumble Cookies. Is there a line up? There's a line outside. Crumble Cookies reached out to me and told me that they love my videos. Wasn't that so nice? They said some really nice things to me about people that like, or on their staff have watched my videos for a while. And, I don't know, they just sent me like the nicest message in the entire world. Their cookies really are that good though. It feels like a Friday, it doesn't feel like a Thursday. I don't know why. I answered these questions on my, I may have talked about this last night. I answered these questions on my, what do you call it? Instagram like 3 years ago. And so when I did this Q&A thing the other day, somebody suggested that I go back and re-answer these questions 3 years later. And I was reading some of the questions and they're so funny. It's like, who would you have done, like who would you love to do like collab with? And I was like, my answers have so changed since then. It's so funny. And I kind of like, to some degree, this is really only regarding the drama, I guess. I kind of miss a little bit like the innocence and the naivete that I had when I first started YouTube, you know? It's like, and it's not just about the people that I talk about. It's about all kinds of people on YouTube, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's just like my, the way that I have changed my outlook on YouTube in the last couple years. Like this vlog, and like, I love doing the drama. I love having an opinion and being funny and, you know, where I think I'm funny sometimes. I think other people might think I'm funny. Flipping the fan and all that kind of stuff. You know, like, I love doing all that. But the vlog and like the people, especially like my Peter Does Stuff channel recently, like I was sitting there and I think like I tried too hard to come up with like things to do. And I was like, I could literally just go to the grocery store or you know, just like sit out on my front porch and talk. Like I used to, you know, do that all the time back in the day. I didn't, like when I first started YouTube, I wasn't so concerned with like what I was gonna make the video about. You know, like, I just made a video every single day because I loved making videos. And I still try to like stay in that mindset. And when I start thinking too hard, that's when I'm like, no, just sit down, make the video, have fun with it, and enjoy it, you know? And I know that people like often are confused why I have so many other channels, which by the way, I'm gonna tell you that just so that we can get this out of the way now and all the haters can be like, oh, he's starting a 7th channel. Oh my God. If Melissa and I decide to do the vlog, I've said this now twice, I think on here, maybe 3 times. If Melissa and I decide to do a visual podcast, you know, like the other ones like Frenemies and the Sip and stuff like that. Oh my God, my battery is dying already. Well, I have another battery, but I just can't believe it's dying already. If we decide to do like a physical one where we like videotape it, listen to how old I am, on the Betamax, on the VCR. If we record it for like video, I am gonna start another channel for that. And I won't even consider that like my 7th channel because I want Melissa to have, just be like, I want it to be 50% hers. And it wouldn't be fair to put that up on like one of my already pre-existing channels. I want her to, all my friends are talking about this new place called Another Broken Egg Cafe. It's supposed to be like really good. But I want Melissa to be able to enjoy it as well. So, here's Aldi. I should just go into Aldi right now. So if she, so if we decide that, we gotta pull in here to change my battery, then I will start the 7th channel, but it'll be both Melissa and I's channel, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna go into Aldi right now, I just don't really feel like it. Okay, hold on, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I feel like I had something else that I needed to do today, somewhere I needed to go. Because I was just gonna put on sweat shorts, and then I was like, no, I wanna put on nicer shorts because I'm going in somewhere. And I can't remember where I thought I was going in. Oh well. But yeah, I love having like my other channels because I just, you know, I know a lot of people come to the drama channel for commentary on the drama, right? Like, I know there's a lot of people over there that come because they like me, or which I love. I think that's so sweet, right? But then there's a lot of people that come just for the commentary on the drama. I know this because I get a lot of comments that are like, drama starts at such and such time, or whatever, you know? Which I understand that, it's whatever. So, those are the people that are there just for the drama. Whereas the other channels, other than like my review channel, which I think people are honestly coming for maybe a review sometimes. Do you know what's so funny is, well, anyway, I was gonna say that like I can just sit down and, you know, just do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? And I don't have to think much about it. You know what's so funny though is that lately, like, I've had so many people, like, when I talk to them, even like other YouTubers that are like, well, the only channel of yours I watch is your review channel. Which I love that people like it, you know? It means a lot to me that people like my review channel so much. I have such a fun time doing it. I really like my Peter Does Stuff channel so much. I just need to stop worrying so much. Like, I feel like if I don't have like a purpose for the video, what's the point of doing a video? Which is silly, you know? Like, just, there's like a lot of people that I watch that just sit down and talk, and they don't even, like, their videos might be about like what's been going on the last 3 weeks, or, you know, like, hey, like, you know, whatever. I mean, they're just like, they sit down and they just talk, and they put together like a 20-minute video. And I really like watching videos like that. I think I feel a little bit like my vlog is like that, so then to do it on my Peter Does Stuff channel is repetitive. So I feel like I want to show something more, you know what I mean? I don't know. People always ask me, like in my Q&As, I always get at least once somebody says, what's your favorite channel? And I, like, honest to God, like, I don't have really a favorite channel because it's like having 6 different friends. It's like each channel meets a different need of mine. And I know it wouldn't work for a lot of people to have that many channels, but for me, it really, really does. It's like, my Peterisms channel is always just so relaxing for me because I just sit down there and do the meditations, and it's really nice because I feel like I'm talking out. I don't feel like I'm just sitting there by myself. I feel like I'm talking to somebody, and so it's like I'm kind of processing the meditations too. My BookTube channel I love because I just love talking about books, and I love books, and I love reading, even though I do a lot of it over here. And then, my Peter Does Stuff channel is just fun for me to come up with different things to do. And then my drama channel I just love because I just love to have an opinion and do commentary on stuff. And you know, I think people think I get bored of the drama. I don't really get bored of it. I think it's interesting, you know, to see what the next person's, what they're going to do, or what their next move is, or what their motive is, or their motivation, or whatever. There was like an accident up here or something. It's like really bad traffic. Like, should I turn? Should I try to make it to the next light? I'll try to make it to the next light. I hope everybody's okay. And then my review channel is just, I have so much fun on that, you know? And then my vlog, I think y'all know, this is just so cathartic for me. It's like having a friend that I just drive around to and talk in my car like Tanya, right? There's 4 police officers, no 3. Oh, her car is really blown up. Their tire blew up, it looked like. But yeah, it's like driving around and having, like, you know, a conversation with a friend. And I love it. And it's so cathartic for me too. You know, when I look back on my vlog at different times, like how much my vlog has helped me at times. If you go back to my first year of when I was vlogging, I talked so, and I still do, I know, but really not as much as I used to. I talked so much about my mom and so many memories of my mom that I really think like the first year that I did my vlog was this cathartic process of me like healing and grieving from my mom's passing in a way that I really never had before. Because I would get in videos and I would talk and I would cry and I would tell the stories, you know, at night of what, all this kind of stuff. And then I think the years after that have kind of been me reflecting on my life and really like remembering some, you know, great moments of my life, some sad moments of my life, but really evaluating my life in a way that I don't know that it maybe appears that way when you just watch my vlog. But to me, it's like when I turn off the camera, I'm still thinking about a lot of these things that I've talked about, especially when I talk about like my sobriety. Like, it's definitely been really, really helpful for me in the last, and I'm not ending the vlog or anything, but it's been really helpful for me in the last, you know, what is this, my 6th year of doing this? In the last 6 years of, or 5 years, in the last 5 years, it's been really helpful for me to tell stories of early sobriety and to talk about the importance of like a cup of coffee or the newcomer or what it felt like being a newcomer and reliving that and telling the story. Because even though I go to meetings, even though I'm really active and all this kind of stuff, it's not like Tanya and I get in a car and we sometimes do, but not very often do. We talk more about like where we're at today in our sobriety as being old timers in sobriety and the difficulties that go along with being an old timer. We don't really talk so much about what it was like being a newcomer back in the day, you know? And And so it's real, like I'll talk about it in a vlog, and then I'll tell Tanya, I'll say, oh my God, I was talking about like how much like a cup of coffee meant to us, like when we first got sober and stuff. She's like, oh my God, I love those days, you know? And so it's really been helpful to keep my sobriety alive and well, and for me to remember where I've come from, what it was like before I got sober, and what it's like for me now. It's been really, really helpful for me on that level, in a way that I don't think anybody probably thinks about, you know? Like if you just watch my vlog, like I you know, sometimes I get off the vlog and I get into bed with Alex and the dogs, and I think, man, I'm so grateful. Like my life, you know, 27 years ago was a disaster. I was a mess. And nobody ever would have put any money on me that they thought that I was ever going to have a successful relationship, you know, not be needing something from somebody all the time and depending on people all the time and being a burden, and, you know, and people being afraid for me all the time. Like I don't think there were, before I got sober, anybody ever thought that. And even when I got sober, I don't think anybody thought it was gonna last. And so it's really important for me to go back to that and remember that, you know, and the vlog has been really helpful for me with that. And you know, when PP passed away, and I took a week off from making videos, and I took a week off from vlogging, really the hardest thing for me to do was not vlog for that week. You know, the first couple days, I just was so shell-shocked that I really didn't want to talk to anyone about anything. I mean, I just didn't. And, you know, I think that's very much how I grieved with my mom, too, and looking back on it, is that I kind of just shut down, you know? And other than talking to Alex, I really did shut down. At first, you know, when PP passed away. There were a few people that I was talking to, but I didn't, you know, that little dog was my best friend, and to have something, like, it was very similar to my mom, and the feelings of like, just this thing that was so important to my life just being pulled away, you know? What is going on over there? Are those real? No, they can't be. There's like all these swans sitting in that yard. I have to turn around and see, because that cannot be real. Would there be 6 swans just sitting in the yard of somebody's business? But, you know, after the 3rd or 4th day when we were in Mexico, like, I think because this had been so cathartic for me with talking about my mom, I think I wanted to get on here and talk about PP passing away, you know? And just, I wanted to connect with you guys and let you guys know what was going on. And I remember it was Tanya, you know, I would talk to Tanya every day, and I'd say, I think I'm gonna vlog today. And she'd say, babe, I really just wish you would take the week to yourself. I really just wish you would wait till you got back. She kept on saying that, you know? And I did, and you guys were so supportive of it. Not that I didn't think that you wouldn't be. I never thought anybody would be like, how dare you not vlog because your dog passed away. I never once thought that. I knew that people would be supportive of me. I knew that if I needed to take 2 months off, or a month off or whatever, I knew people would be supportive of that, right? But I didn't know that for me, that I could do this. What is going on here? Are these real? These cannot. Oh, they've got like coyotes out there and stuff too, just standing there. What is going on? This cannot be real. No, they're totally posed. And then way underneath the tree, they have like coyotes or deer or something. I have to show you this. Do you see this? I true story didn't think though that it was real. Oh my gosh. Anyway. But you know what that really taught me? I remember years and years ago, one of my friend's dads passed away. And I remember I talked to his mom. at that time was when I was like working 50, 60 hours a week. I was getting my master's degree. I had an internship practicum that I was doing that was like 20 hours a week. And I remember, and she knew that. And I remember she said to me, when I said something to her about him passing away, she said, nobody at the end of their life looks back and wishes that they had worked more. And it's always stuck with me, you know? And what I realized through that, not vlogging, was that, you know, it's always important to take care of myself first and foremost. I can't be there for somebody else. I can't be there for even for myself if I'm not taking care of myself, you know? And I know that it's kind of corny to say that, but I think it's the truth. You know, you have to take care of yourself. And you have to put yourself first sometimes, no matter how selfishly. And people are like, well, I can't because I have kids and I have parents and I have this and that and I have a spouse. And I understand that. And that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about ignoring your responsibilities. I'm not talking about not, you know, taking care of business. I'm talking about making sure, checking in with yourself that you're okay every day. Because if you're not, you can't do those things that you have to, because eventually you're just gonna like break down and lose it, you know? And so it's really, really important to, on a regular basis, continue to take care of ourselves and check in with ourselves and all of that. Somebody asked me on the video, I was looking through the comments, I don't know who this is, I'm sorry, I wish, let me fix this beanbag thing. I wish I knew who this was that had said it, but somebody asked something to the effect of, what do you mean by working on things? Like working through an issue or working on things, you know? And I thought, it's really a good question. You know, I think I've thrown around this idea so much of like, you know, so-and-so needs to work on stuff, or when I was working on stuff or whatever, you know, and when I'm working on issues in my life, or when I'm working through something, you know, whatever, I always say all this kind of stuff, but like, really, what does it mean? And I thought it was such a great question, because like me saying it, I know what I mean by that, but I don't know that other people know what I mean by that. For me, to work through something or to work on an issue, right, is first and foremost, and this is just my definition of it, first and foremost, taking a look at what the issue is, okay? Not lying to yourself about it, but looking at it. For me, it's about doing written inventory and writing it down on paper, because sometimes for me to see it on paper, it's harder for me to ignore or deny the truth if I look right at it, right? So write it down on paper, and then like I can just write down my feelings about it. I can just, you know, free verse a journal. I can, you know, outline feelings about it, or make a list of feelings that I have associated with it, or thoughts, or anger, or sadness, or whatever, or I felt like betrayal, whatever the issue is, right? And now I personally think it's hard to work through issues by myself. Like I have always needed to have a counselor or a therapist or a life coach, or my sponsor, definitely, that I have now, to help me work through things as a sounding board for me to say, well, this and this and this and this and this, and then for that other person to give me, you know, an objective point of view and say, well, have you ever thought about it this way? Wow, no, I haven't, you know, or to show me things. Because I think sometimes, you know, it's like, to some degree, we're all our own worst yes man. Like, we all just will tell ourselves the things that we're either super self-deprecating, where we put ourselves down in our head all the time, which that's not healthy. Or if there's something that we need to work on, we kind of like believe in the lie, as my sponsor often says. And believing in the lie is staying in the area that's not true about whatever's going on. You know what I mean? Like if I feel betrayed about something that happened, maybe I need to take a look at that and say, well, did I have a part in that? And then fixing my part. And that's working through something, is taking a look at what happened, being honest with yourself about the emotions and the feelings that you have in association to whatever happened. Taking a look at how it has affected your life and how it plays out in patterns in other areas of your life. And is this a repetitive pattern for you that this continues to happen over and over and over again? What is my part in this? Because we can only fix our part in that, right? And then being willing to fix that part, you know? It's like we band-aid situations so much in life. Band-aiding a situation, you know, is not working through it, because the issue's going to arise again somewhere down the road in your life. You know, it's like if you went through, like, let's say a horrible breakup in a relationship, and, you know, something happened and it's affected your just trusting anybody in a further relationship, right? And then you go into the next relationship, and we always talk about how we carry baggage into relationships, which sounds corny, but it's true. We do, right? And then that affects that relationship, because if you don't work on those issues of having felt betrayed or having no trust, then you're not going to be able to, in future relationships, feel that way towards somebody. It's not like the magical person is going to come along and they're going to solve that for you. No, you have to do the work, right? You have to be the one, and I have to be the one, and we all have to be the one that feels that we can trust other people. And that's a hard thing to do, right? So we have to take a look at, well, what happened? What was the issue, you know? And I have a friend of mine, she's so fantastic with looking at this stuff. And she'll say, like, okay, like, if there's a situation in my life where this would be a good way where you would work through this with somebody, okay? Where if you look at something in your life, and this was something that, like, I would do some work with my sponsor, and then she would say, or he would say, the one too before that, when I was in counseling before, both of them would say, this is something that you need to take to your counselor. Like, this is an outside issue, okay? Like, we can do all the inventory we want to do on this, but there are things that your counselor needs to help you work on these things with, right? And so part of it would be where, like, let's say if there was an issue, you know, I have a lot of social anxiety. I've talked a lot about that. I think I just talked about that on my vlog the other day, right? So if in my social anxiety it comes out that I am worried that I'm going to go somewhere and somebody's going to talk about me or say mean things about me or whatever, right? My friend always says, okay, when was the last time I felt that way? I've talked about this on here. It's been a long time ago, but I talked about this on here. I love when she shares this. And then you go back to the time before that, and you, like, kind of do a whole inventory on this. The time before that, when did I feel that way again? And then you go from that period to, when was the time before that I felt that way? And when was the time, and you go all the way back, and all the way back, and all the way back, and you look at what was the original time, when was the original time that felt that way? Well, for me, when I go back, that feeling that I have going in somewhere correlates with that feeling that I had when I was sitting at that lunch table in first grade, okay, of tomato soup, and we all sat down, and the one kid made the joke about the homogenous milk. And, you know, don't drink the milk because it'll make you gay like Peter. Like, you know, it all goes back to that. And then it goes forward of incidences of me being bullied and whatever. So, you know, it's not like this just get over it thing, which I was told all through high school by, you know, principals and deans and things like that. Just get over it. Just get over it. Well, it's not about it, just getting over thing. When you're talking about 12 years of a consistent wound that has happened to you, right? So if you think about that, a Band-Aid isn't going to fix that. You're going to actually have to go in and you're going to have to repair the wound, okay, to make it workable, and, you know, and so it's going back and it's unpacking all of the emotions that were attached to that over the course of, from whenever it started to the now. Well, maybe it wasn't when you were in first grade. Maybe it was when you were 26 years old, your boyfriend or your girlfriend cheated on you, okay? And maybe that was the initial situation. And then you go into the next relationship and you sabotage that relationship because you just can't get out of your mind that this person that you're with now is not going to cheat on you again. And then you go into the next relationship, or you get out of that relationship and then you think, nobody's gonna ever love me enough not to cheat on me, right? And you go through all these different things and you carry that in, and all of a sudden you're 45, let's say, right? And you're single and you have this mindset, I'm never gonna meet anybody that's good enough out there. Well, that's BS. That's living in the lie. That the lie is that everybody cheats. That's not true. There are a lot of people out there that don't cheat, you know? There are a lot of people out there that live happily monogamous relationships. So you have to get out of the lie. Does that make sense? Okay, so then you look at where the lie began. and you really take a look at that first incident of what happened and how painful that was for you, and you talk about your emotions and you talk about your feelings associated with it, and you look at it right in the face and you're not afraid of it, and you look at it and you get angry and you get mad and you get sad, and you allow yourself to feel all those feelings that you have pushed down for this long time, right? And you also don't allow that situation or that singular event to have ownership over your life anymore. But a lot of the things that I'm talking about are really, really serious situations that you need somebody professional to talk to about things. You know, like I had a lot of things that I needed to sit down with a counselor and, you know, unpack. Like I needed to look at a counselor and say, crying, angry, sad, confused, upset, I didn't understand. As an alcoholic with 20 years sobriety, I didn't understand how my mom could pick drinking over me. Like, I get it. I get alcoholism. I get recovery. I get what alcoholism does, right? But in that moment, I was that 5-year-old kid that was looking at my mom stumbling all over the place, and I didn't get it. And I've carried that with me, that anger and that sadness, you know, and that's played out in other areas of my life. So I had to backtrack and look at all areas of my life so that it doesn't continue, so that I don't allow it to have ownership over my life. And that's what we do, you know, and it's super important to do that because we don't want these things to, and that's how you work through something, right? And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes years and years and years and years, you know. Have you ever met somebody, okay, like this is a good example. Have you ever met somebody and you don't know why? Like you really cannot figure it out, you know? Maybe it's a friend of a friend, maybe it's a coworker, but like you just do not like this person from the get-go, right? You don't like them. There's something about them that annoys you, that like you just fight saying anything nice about them, you know, like you almost kind of feel like jealous inside, like if other people like are friends with them or whatever, you just like are like, I don't like them, I don't know what it is, I don't like them, right? And you can't really figure it out. By and large, that person or their relationship with whoever it is in your life reminds you of something that has happened previously, okay? For the life of me, I met this girl, right, in meetings, and I did not know what it was about her. I could not figure it out. I just did not like her. I mean, just to hear her speak, like, for me, I just didn't like her. I didn't like her, you know? And I didn't say anything ever. I was just really nice to her and whatever, but like, every time Tanya and I would like leave a meeting and she had been there, I'd just be like, Tanya, I don't know what it is, but she's just, it's like nails on the chalkboard. Like, I just can't even like, whatever. And one night, Tanya and I were driving around, and she said, you know who she reminds me of? And I said, who? And she told me, and I was like, oh my God. That's why I don't like her. She's just like her. I can't believe that I never figured that out. This is like years ago that this happened, right? I said, wow. I said, well now, you know, next time I see her, I won't feel that way as much anymore, you know? And Tanya goes, well, it's maybe not so much about when you see her next as it is fixing the initial issue that you still have an issue with this person from 20 years ago that you haven't let go of yet, right? Like you still are holding on to that from 20 years ago, and why are you doing that? That's an unfulfilled expectation. That's a resentment. And resentments are our #1 offenders in recovery, right? So, and I did work on that, and I you know, processed it with my sponsor and did inventory and worked through it and looked at what was going on with that. And that wasn't even that deep of an issue. You know, that was just, I felt I had been wronged in a situation that really wasn't that grandiose at the time, but I thought that I was, you know, I thought that I was right in the situation. And in further reflection, I realized, you know, maybe I wasn't right in the situation. Maybe the way that she saw it was completely, you know, different than the way that I saw it. And, you know, I was able to, it was funny because this was with my old sponsor. I had an opportunity to make amends to this person, but I know better than making amends to somebody without talking to my sponsor first. And so I called him up and I said, hey, because I had to talk to this person from my past, and I said, I'm gonna while I'm talking to her, I'm going to make amends to her. And he goes, no, you're not. And I said, what? And he goes, you're not going to make amends to her. And he goes, we haven't even done any inventory on her yet. He goes, hold on a second. He goes, this is the first that I'm even hearing that you had an issue with this person. He goes, so just so you want to make the amends to make you feel better, he goes, that's not why we make amends. We don't make amends to make us feel better. We make amends to clear the wreckage of our past for the other person. He goes, you're not going to go into this and just make amends because you want to feel good getting off that phone call. And I was like, oh, damn. So then later, I did do inventory and, you know, did have the possibility, or I'm gonna have to come back in all of this traffic on my Atlanta. I did have the opportunity to make amends, you know? And at that point, I was able to look at really, truly what was my part of the street. And you know what was interesting about that and looking back was that I did look that I had a part in it, but it wasn't as much as I thought I did. And then I realized that I was resentful of myself as well. And I also was able to look at my character defects in relation to that specific situation that had occurred, you know? And, God, this traffic is so bad this way. Well, it's quitting hour traffic. I think I'm going to come through a different way on the way home. I was getting ready to go home and make some videos. Well, this might be the 3-hour vlog that y'all were hoping for. I don't know. Once the battery goes to the halfway mark, I'm going to have to do a booktube video because I've been meaning to do that, a booktube vlog. But anyway, yeah, and that's what it is. It's working through this stuff in our lives that holds us down, you know? And it's like the book that we're reading for my literature group, Drop the Rock. It's like you gotta drop the rock off your neck so that you can swim to shore and be free, you know? It's about all of that. It's about getting rid of this stuff that ties us down. So that's the way that you work through it, you know? I think we're so afraid, like Alex and I were talking about this the other day, we've found like 3 people's names for new counselors because we miss going to counseling, and there's nothing going wrong. Like, I mean, our relationship's great right now and stuff, but we talk so much about it. It's like, even the greatest singers in the world sometimes have vocal coaches. It's like, we got so much out of marriage counseling that we've been wanting to go back, you know, just like every other week or whatever, and just have somebody to have it stopped. We found like 3 people that look like people that we would want to go to based on, you know, their experience and the references and things like that. And we just haven't booked the appointment, and we need to, you know. And I know that there's a lot of fear associated with going to counseling, but whenever I'm like in counseling, I really feel like my juices are flowing. I feel like, you know, because I feel like that when I do inventory with my sponsor, I just feel so alive. I feel like, man, I'm like really like alive, and, you know, like just, I'm working on stuff, and my life is just so good, and I just feel so blessed. You know, it's like, even when I would leave counseling appointments and Alex and I had fought in there, or cried, or, you know, things had come up that were hard to take a look at, you know, it was like, or even when I was doing individual work and I was talking about my mom and the grief and other stuff that had happened, bullying in my life, you know, it was like I would leave there and I would feel heard. I would feel like, man, somebody gets me, you know, like I feel heard for once. And then in getting skills and stuff to sit there and like, I know this is gonna sound corny, but you know, like in things that Alex and I used to like argue and bicker and argue about back in the day, stupid stuff, right? That then flash forward, we would use these skills and these tools that we had from counseling, and we would almost kind of look at each other and kind of laugh like, wow, we're proud of each other, you know, for like actually using these skills and these tools. Like, we're doing it, you know, like we're doing the thing, like this is cool. And so it's a cool thing, you know, it's a cool thing, and I recommend it for anybody to work through that stuff. It's so freeing, you know. I really believe that a huge part of the peace and serenity that I've received in my life in the last couple years is a direct result of the counseling that we did, number 1, and number 2, all of the inventory that I've done with my sponsor, and number 3, that I've actually been using my sponsor, that I pick up the phone and I call her when I'm going through something. I call her just to check in when things are going good and allow her to be there for me during the positive things. There is nothing that my sponsor, well, I don't think. There's nothing that my sponsor doesn't know about me, you know, like, and and loves me anyway. And I think that that's important, you know, that I know that there is somebody out there that loves me through it all, you know. And I think sometimes that's hard because we don't believe that we're you know, that's possible. We don't believe that you know, that there are people that's capable, or that's capable. We don't believe that that's possible, that there will be people that will love us no matter what, you know. And just sitting in, you know, my counselor's office, who I didn't really have any emotional tie to that man, but just for him to validate some of the pain that I had been through, you know, just to look at me and say like, wow, that must have been a lot. Or, I'm really sorry that you went through that, you know. Or when he said to me, do you think you ever experienced any PTSD as a result of the bullying? It was like, thank you, fine. I mean, it was like this huge weight off my shoulders. Somebody gets what I went through. Like, somebody, you know, understands that it wasn't just teasing in the hall. Like, it was fear that I lived with on a regular basis, you know. To live with that fear every single day of going to school was just devastating. The corn is getting really, really high on another note. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye. O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A, Oklahoma. Okay. I don't know why, but that was one of my mom's favorite musicals. Anyway, if you are somebody out there that is wanting to work through things, I highly, highly suggest finding somebody and, you know, working with somebody. And I always recommend the website, psychologytoday.com. You can put your zip code in there, and it's how we found people. And no, this isn't sponsored. I don't get anything from it, but you just put your zip code in there, and then you can go through, and it will list like what people's specialties are. It'll list their prices. It also lists like, if they take a sliding fee scale and things like that. So if you're looking for a sliding fee scale because, you know, maybe you can't afford traditional therapy or whatever, or counseling, because it's expensive. Maybe you don't have insurance that pays for it. A lot of insurance doesn't pay for it. Our insurance never paid for it, you know. I also think for us, like, it was such a priority that we're like, we have to do this thing, you know. No matter what, like, this is important for us to do, and like, it speaks of our marriage, you know. And so I think it was really important for us no matter what. And if you're a couple out there that's wanting to go to marriage counseling, we split the cost. You know, we paid for our individual sessions, each of us, but then with the marriage counseling sessions, he'd pay 1 week, I'd pay the next. He paid 1 week, I paid the next. And we just went into it that way, you know. We were both invested in it, and we both needed to be emotionally invested in it, and we were both financially invested in it, you know. And I think that that was important as well, because, oh look, they built a pool. That pool is so pretty. I think that was important for us as well, too, because I think that we both, like, felt like we were getting, you know, something out of it because we were both putting something into it. And I know that that probably sounds corny to people, like, oh, well, you were both putting finance. It did make a difference, I think, you know. I mean, it was $100 a session, so, well, it was $90 a session. And so, 90 or 95, I think it was $90 a session. So it was $100, you know, a week that we were paying. And, I mean, it definitely meant that there were things that we couldn't do, that we wanted to do. And so it was us, again, prioritizing our marriage. And, yeah, it was, I think that in itself was kind of an action that was important. And it wasn't like at a point in our lives where $100 a week was going to bankrupt us, but it was definitely at a point where $100 a week was a lot of money to us. And so I think, like, it also made us not, like, it made us sit there and actually do the work instead of just, like, taking it for granted because we're like, if we're going to show up, we're going to get our money's worth, you know? Like, my sponsor, that was one of the things that, like, drew me to her. Is she talked about going to counseling, and she showed up to her counselor the first day. It was like, if I'm going to pay for this, I'm going to get my money's worth, you know? And I went into our counseling like that. I was like, if I'm going to go into if I'm going to do this, I'm going to get my money's worth. Like, you know, I'm going to work on this stuff in my life because I don't want it having power over me anymore. And I want to have the best marriage ever, you know? This anniversary of ours, this 10-year anniversary that we're going into in August next month, it's crazy to think that we're less than a month away from our 10-year wedding anniversary and less than a month away from 13 years of being together. You know, I am super proud of us. We have been to hell and back. We have had some verbal arguments and fights, like we've never physical, but verbal arguments and fights like nobody's business. You know, it just was bad. It just was bad in the day, back in the day, you know, and Alex being like, I'm getting out of here, and like throwing his stuff, like pulling clothes out like he was gonna leave, and you know, and me 1 second being like, well then just leave, then me like begging him to stay, and then us arguing and me getting ready to walk out, and him being like, you know, please don't leave, let's talk, and you know, me cussing at him. It was bad, like both of us. We just were children, and we just were hurtful to each other, you know, verbally, and said mean things, and weren't nice to each other. And I think that one of the things was that we really realized how much we do love each other, you know? And I am so, so, so proud of how far we've come and where we're at in our marriage, you know, that we're celebrating 10 years. And not just to put another, you know, another tick on the year mark. Like, I wouldn't be proud of that. I wouldn't be proud of being in a marriage for 10 years or 30 years or whatever and just being like, well, we dealt with each other for all these years, you know, we were able to stand by each other's sides. Like, that's not the marriage that I want, you know? No offense to anybody out there, but that's not the marriage that I want. I want the marriage that I look at my husband and I'm like, damn, I am blessed and lucky to have that man in my life. Like, I love him with every bit of my being. I am so proud of him being my partner. Sometimes I don't like him very well because he does things that pisses me off, excuse my language, things that upset me, but that's normal in any relationship, you know? But at the end of the day, I look at him and I think, man, I feel so blessed to have that man in my life, you know? And I didn't feel like that before we went into marriage counseling. I didn't feel like that at all. I didn't care if we stayed married or not. I just was like, rack it up to another failure of my life, you know? And I'm so glad that I fought for it. And I'm so glad that and that we both fought for it, you know? Because I look back and the 10 years means so much, you know? It's like, it really is powerful looking back on it, like how much that means to me. In my life, there's, you know, several things that I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of course, getting sober. I'm proud of myself for that. I'm proud of getting my undergraduate and my graduate degree. I'm proud of having written a book. I'm proud of myself for all the channels that I've started and maintained on YouTube. And I'm proud of my front porch this summer. No, but like there are some big moments in my life that I'm really proud of. There's others than that as well, but some of them are even like private moments I'm very proud of. But one of the proudest things in my life is our marriage, and that we are still together, and that we wake up and we love each other so much, you know, like it means so much to me. It's one of the proudest things in my life. Marriages aren't easy. You know, they just are not easy. And I even think that I went into it, honestly, like I definitely didn't go into my marriage thinking that we were gonna get divorced, but I think that I went into my marriage always, because I think that we're raised this way in 2021. I think in the back of my mind, I was kind of like, well, if it doesn't work, you know, I mean, we can always like go our separate ways. It just didn't, like, I don't know that I consciously thought that, But I don't know that I consciously didn't think that either. You know what I mean? Like, I thought, I don't know, I just don't think that I, like, I think I just thought to myself, like, I'm really proud that we're getting married, but I definitely didn't think, like, if it doesn't work, we can go to marriage counseling. Like, that wasn't on my radar, obviously. Somebody else asked me not too long ago, they said, how did Alex get you to go to marriage counseling? And I've talked about that on here quite a bit, I know, is that Alex looked at me and said, and I think I was more afraid at that point of losing the relationship than anything else. Even if the relationship was crap, I just think I was, like, so afraid of, I don't know, just, like, how was, I mean, I really thought, like, how am I going to live if this person's not in my life? Which, today, I feel blessed that he's in my life, and I know that I choose for him to be there, and he chooses for me to be there, but I also know that I'm going to be okay if we don't make it, which is really, that was something powerful that came out of counseling, that I realized it's not healthy for me to be codependent on somebody else and define my life by them being in it, right? Like, to pick and choose to have somebody in my life, like, that is healthy. And, you know, but for me to be like, I don't know how I'll live if he's not in my life, you know, it's like, okay, pull it together. You had a life before, you'll have a life after, you'll be okay. I don't like thinking that way because I don't want to think like he's not going to be there. But the reality is, I cannot define myself on this need to, like, almost kind of like this blood-sucking vampire need to have this relationship in my life, right? That was one of the healthiest things. But, you know, Alex had brought up counseling several times, and I knew that he was very upset in, like, in our marriage. I knew he was not happy and he was miserable. And finally he looked at me and he said, if we don't go to counseling, like, we are going to have to go our separate ways because I'm not happy. Like, and I can't continue to do this. And my fear of us not being together was greater than my fear of going to counseling. And that's what got us into counseling. So, there you go. That's what did it right there. So yeah, an ultimatum, so to speak, but I think I needed that ultimatum to kind of make me realize where he was at, because I honestly think that I would have just kind of floated along for a long time and just been, like, unhappy and in a miserable relationship, you know, and just been like, because we were at that point, we were past the arguing and the fighting. We were just not talking to each other, and that was almost worse than the arguing and the fighting. It was just like passing like ships in the night, you know, like we just weren't talking to each other. It was sad, you know, and I don't want to live that life anymore. I don't want to live that experience or that existence anymore with my husband. I want to be excited, you know, when he comes through the door, and I want him to be excited when he sees me and all of that, because that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? Like, that's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. But that is what marriage is about, you know, and sharing a life with somebody and being excited for you know, their achievements, and they're being excited for your achievements, and you guys being partners of each other and being happy for them and building each other up and smiling at one another, and, you know, and all of that. Like, that's all of what it's about, you know, and you have to remember that. It's like a big thing, you know. I think there's way too many people, and I was one of them, that takes marriage for granted, that takes relationships for granted. You know, there's so many people out there that never meet anybody. You know, I can remember at some point in my life watching Jerry Springer with my mom. True story. We're sitting there watching Jerry Springer, and these people, it was like two men were fighting over this woman, and I was like, Mom, I don't understand how, like, this woman's got two men and I don't even have one. And my mom looked at me and she said, you know, this was when she was sober, and she didn't have, like, she didn't date, like, forever. And she said, nobody's promised a partner in life, Peter. Like, if you get one, you're lucky, you're blessed, but nobody's promised a partner in life, you know? And I was like, that's true, you know? And I can remember I was between two, like, boyfriends. I was between, I think, my first and my second boyfriend at that time, and like of the three, like, long-term boyfriends. And I was like, I can remember thinking to myself, maybe I'll never be with somebody again. Maybe I'll never meet somebody again. You know, and that scared the hell out of me. Because, see, I was so codependent that I defined my life in relation to somebody else being in my, like, needing me or wanting me or desiring me, you know, instead of me being good enough for me. And today I'm good enough for me. And I don't need anybody to complete me. But I sure do love having somebody to share my life with. And I'm so happy that he chooses for me to be in his life and that I choose for him to be in my life. You know what I mean? So anyway. Whenever I see people outside running, like down the street, it always makes me think I should go running. Like, I used to run back in the day. I used to run. Like a lot, like 5 to 10 miles a day. I don't even know how I did it. But I loved it. I would like run for like a mile or two. And like at the mile, like the first mile, I would run for like the first mile or two, mile and a half to 2 miles. I would get like the endorphins would kick in. And then I literally could have probably ran for like, 15, 20 miles. Like I felt so good running and I got my pace. God, it seems like so long ago. In my old apartment, I would go over to the gym. And I remember I would watch movies. For some reason, I always remember, like I was just talking about this movie yesterday with Alex because he was looking for the reboot of it. But I Know What You Did Last Summer. I would watch that movie and I would run on the treadmill and I would just sit there and I would watch it with no like earphones on or anything. Just watch that movie. I used to do the stair step or the Stairmaster a lot too. I would do it for like an hour and a half. I got a crow sitting on that. How ominous. Sitting on that. Scary. Sitting on there on that white porch or white picket fence. New students, what school is that right there? I bet there was a school right there. Oh, the battery just went to the halfway mark. So I am going to stop it here in just a second. But yeah, I miss running sometimes. I miss how good I felt after a run. I just was like alive and I feel so good, you know? If I could get back to being that active again, maybe I'd just start with walking, you know? Maybe that'll get me there. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop this and I'm going to do a booktube video real quick. And then, I will be back to vlog a little bit later. I can't believe I've vlogged so much already, so I'll be back to vlog a little bit later. Bye. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back for part 2 of the 3-hour vlog. I don't know why I woke up today and I was like, oh, a 3-hour vlog sounds like a good idea tonight, but I did. And I just, in the kitchen, well, a while ago, I like added up, I went through to add up like the time that I had vlogged already to see how long I had vlogged. And I have about, if I'm gonna make it to 3 hours tonight, I have like an hour and 45 minutes left to vlog, which it is 12:27 a.m. on this beautiful, it was kind of rainy earlier, but it didn't really ever fully come out in rain. It was just kind of cloudy and some thunder and stuff. But anyway, on this beautiful Thursday evening going into Friday, and if I make it to 3 hours, if I have enough to say, that will be about, I just added it up, 2:15 in the morning. So, I mean, that's earlier than sometimes when I start the vlog, you know? I'm actually kind of excited about it. Alex was watching Gossip Girl and I was like, I'm gonna go vlog my 3-hour vlog. He was just laughing at me. He was like, okay. I don't know, think that Alex can understand why anybody would want to watch a 3-hour vlog either, so. Of me sitting there talking. Probably Alex's worst nightmare is having to sit there and listen to me talk for 3 hours. But it's fun. I'm having a blast today doing this. I don't think that I could have done 3 hours in a row tonight, though. I think that having to split it up really helped a little bit. And I have like no idea what I'm going to talk about. There's like no lip gloss on this. This is why I keep on going over and over and over it. Anyway. So after I got done vlogging earlier today, I came home and I filmed videos. Well, I had already filmed a Peterisms video and a review video and was putting up my vlog. So when I came home, oh, and after I got done vlogging, I did a booktube video talking about my 2 Peter's Book Club books for this month. So when I came home, I filmed a drama video and I filmed a Peter Does Stuff video. So, and in between, Alex came home. And so I filmed videos for all of my channels. And I'm doing a 3-hour vlog today. And I slept in. So, I mean, it's been a good day. It's been a really good day. And I'm having a Diet Coke right now. And I also have half of my coffee in the car. I was gonna bring 2 Diet Cokes, but when I get done vlogging, I'm gonna go home and upload the vlog because it's so long. Well, not upload it, but I'm gonna render it, and then I'm gonna come back out and listen to like an hour of my audiobook, and then go home, and then while I'm sleeping, it can upload overnight, or it'll take the entire day tomorrow to upload to YouTube. I did not wear a hat tonight. I'm sure you guys could care less. So it'll take the whole day tomorrow to upload to YouTube. My husband today, he went for like this work thing. They went to like a soft open of this restaurant in Indianapolis, and it was called the Manali Cafe, and it's like this Hawaiian restaurant that's opening, and I don't know how he got the invite to it, but anyway, he loved it. He said the place was great. The food was fantastic. He had like Hawaiian fried rice, and which is interesting to me that he liked it. He was like, he just kept on going on and on about how good it was, because he doesn't really like Hawaiian, like he doesn't like pineapple on his pizza. He doesn't like pineapple on his, I always get pineapple on my fried rice if that's an option. And so I was kind of surprised. He was like, no, it was really good. And we tried these smoothies, we tried these iced coffees, and he was telling me all about it after I filmed my video, because I was like, oh, I should film a video, because he brought me a poke bowl. And he was like talking to the chef there, and the guy was like, oh, he asked him if he had any vegetarian stuff on the menu, and he was like, well, we can make stuff vegetarian, but we don't have it like on the menu. And Alex was telling him about Sugar in Miami, and how one of their vegetarian options was a vegetarian poke bowl that had mushrooms as the protein. And he was like, oh, that's a really good idea. And so unbeknownst to Alex, at the end he came out, because he was telling him about how I'm a vegetarian and whatever. At the end he came out and he said, here, give this to your husband and see if he likes it. And so I did it on my Peter Does Stuff channel. I did it. I ate the poke bowl, and it was so good. It was delicious. I may at some point during this vlog have to get gas, because I'm at a quarter of a tank of gas, which I'm sure you guys don't care about. So anyway, so that was my day, and then I watered my plants on the front porch, and I sat out there for a little bit and read comments on videos, and just relaxed, and then talked to Melissa and Jason, because we were trying to kind of get ahead of the prices getting super expensive in Miami for Ultra, and so we were looking at hotels tonight, which was fun, and booked a hotel for Ultra, and so that was fun, getting all excited. That's not till March, but getting all excited about Ultra and all of that. So, and Melissa was telling me that Las Vegas, I think starting the 30th, which would be today when you're watching this, so tomorrow for me, they are going back to mandatory masks. And so she was like, you might want to check with your hotel. And so I got online and I looked, and you have to, why is my back window all like fogged up? What is going on? Or is it just dirty? Let's see. Oh, it's just dirty. But I looked at most of the hotels and stuff, and you have to wear a mask inside, but outside you don't have to wear a mask. It's like some emergency thing they're doing. I don't know how long that's going to be. I'm wondering if it's going to shut down shows and stuff again, though. Like, we don't have any tickets for shows or anything when we go out there. Alex's mom is actually going to be in Las Vegas at the same time that we are visiting his cousin Maya. So I'm sure we'll do some things as family. But we don't have any shows booked. I didn't know what shows were open, so I kind of thought we would just like wait until we got there. And if we wanted to go to something, if it was open, go to it then. But just have some good dinners and lay by the pool and, you know, romantic week of us getting away. Alex and I enjoy so much just like hanging out in the hotel room and watching a movie or just taking a nap, and, you know, like I'll take a nap and he'll watch shows and stuff like that. So the weather in Vegas right now is like super hot but very sunny. Like not cloudy or anything like that. So hopefully that'll stay, and we'll have, I'm sure, lots of sunshine while we're out in Vegas. I'm sure it will be in the middle of August, you know. I kind of like that intense heat. I don't mind it. I'm kind of like, I don't really know what show to watch next. I don't know what show to watch next, because whenever I sit down to watch, like my iPad these days, or if I'm just like turn on the TV to watch, it's usually to eat dinner or something. And so I don't necessarily want to watch, like, I really want to watch Black Summer, but it's zombies, and even though that stuff doesn't make me gross, like, it doesn't make me grossed out, like, to watch it, I don't know that I want to watch it while I'm eating. Like, I don't typically watch a lot of, like, gruesome true crime while I'm eating. What was I watching the other day? And I was like, well, the other day while I was eating, I was trying to watch The Sons of Sam, and I got so bored of it, honestly. Usually I just watch Game Show Network. I love when Family Feud is on, but I'll watch just about anything on Game Show Network. But I want to watch Black Summer, and I want to watch Manifest, and keep watching those. All of the shows that I wanted, like, I like to watch while I eat, like RuPaul's Drag Race and Legendary, like, I've already watched. I want to watch, like, the RuPaul's Drag Race Spain and the RuPaul's Drag Race Holland, but the problem, in Thailand as well, the problem with watching those while I'm eating is I'm on an iPad and I have to have my reading glasses on anyway to watch the screen. And so while I'm eating and I'm like picking up a chip and dipping it in hummus, it's hard to watch the screen and it's in subtitles. So it's easier for me to watch it on a TV when I'm not doing anything, or if it's like late at night. Sometimes I sit outside on the front porch late at night and I watch stuff. That would be like easy then, because I'm just like, you know, drinking a LaCroix or a Diet Coke or whatever. But it's hard for me, like when I'm sitting there eating, to like just watch my iPad, because I'm not like, I like to watch something while I eat that I can watch and enjoy, but that I don't have to pay complete attention to, if that makes sense, you know, that if I get distracted, it's not a huge thing. So I don't, like, I was looking through World of Wonder the other day, and there's not really anything on there that I want to watch that I haven't already watched. Alex and I are watching RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, and it's on, I think, the Paramount channel. I think we're caught up with that, though. I think this All-Stars season is good, but I said to Alex the other night, I said, well, I'm a huge Eureka O'Hara fan, first of all. Like, I think she's now, like, my all-time favorite on the show. And I think also just in seeing interviews with her, like on Johnny McGovern's Hey Queen and Look at Her and stuff like that, I really like Eureka, and I really like the growth that Eureka has made, and just how honest she is about, you know, like things she's had to work on. And I don't know, I like Eureka a lot more than I did the first season that she was on RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, I'm a huge Eureka fan. But I was saying to Alex, like, in the acting challenges and stuff, like, Akira Davenport, like, she could not get this part this last week, and Raja O'Hara couldn't either. They couldn't get this acting role and I just didn't understand it. And I'm like, okay, you guys are on and I said to Alex, I said, I don't feel like any of them are really acting like all-stars. And I mean, even not just the two of them, like all of them are just kind of one note to me this season. I just haven't been super wowed. You know, I'm trying to think of the last time that I was just like blown away with the fashion on RuPaul's Drag Race. I have to honestly say, and I'm not a huge Aquaria fan, but like Aquaria just like blew me away with her fashion. But like in acting challenges and stuff, not so much. I don't know, I just feel like this is your one chance, and you're coming back on the show, and you know you're probably not going to come on All Stars ever again. Like, wouldn't you just, like, blow it out the park? Like, wouldn't you just be like, okay, this is my moment to shine, and I'm going to, like, take it for everything it's worth? And I just don't feel like... Well, Ginger Minj, I feel like, is kind of doing that. I feel like Ginger Minj came to win. And I feel like Eureka did, too. But even Eureka, I feel like, could be better this season. Ginger Minj, I feel like, has been on point. I feel like Ginger Minj is maybe the only one out of the whole cast that is really acting like an all-star. But she's not a whole lot different than she was on her season. So, is this Ginger Minj's second time on an all-star season? I don't think it is. I don't know. I just feel like with Eureka, by the time that you've been on RuPaul's Drag Race 3 times, you better knock it out of the park. You better be like, this is my chance, you know? And I feel like they should all be acting that way anyway. It was like Jan, they gave her a role this last week, which she was phenomenal in. And, I mean, but it was totally who she is in drag, you know what I mean? Like, it was a character of who she is in drag. Is this like, hold on a second, this beanbag is like slipping out. It always does this, I don't know why. But anyway, it was a character that Jan always plays anyway when she's in drag. So it wasn't like it was a stretch or anything for her. And people were like, the judges were like, you really like, you know, you went above and beyond. I'm like, she just did what she always does and everything else. Like, and then, you know, behind the scenes, she's like, they keep on asking me to be funky and different. And I'm like, you know, whatever. Like, go out there and own it and be yourself. Like, you know, be too much and have fun with it. It's like, when you look back on the seasons, the queens that stepped outside of their comfort zone that ended up doing really well, like Adore Delano, Alaska, the people that like stepped outside of their comfort zone, you know, and were themselves, Sharon Needles, you know, they were the ones that always shined the brightest on the show, that the judges just like ate up because they continued to grow. And I'm all for giving credit where credit's due. It's like Raja O'Hara this season. Raja's really good. And like, I think Raja came and realized, and she's talked about it quite a bit on this season, that on the last season that she was on, she let her insecurities stand in the way of her doing really well. And so like this season, she's like, I'm not doing that. And you can tell, like, she just is shining a lot brighter. I don't know. None of them to me, like, really are acting like superstar all-stars in the way that I would really like to see it on an all-star season, you know? And some of the lip sync assassins that have come back, I have less than wowed me, in all honesty. Like, Like Mayim Miller, like I love Mayim Miller from like the interviews I've seen and stuff, and I know that she's like super famous in West Hollywood because she's worked all the clubs and people love her and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't translate onto film. Like she doesn't make for good TV, and I think she's beautiful, and I think that her makeup is beautiful and her costumes are beautiful and all that, but it doesn't translate to TV. Like she's boring on TV. And she came back into this lip sync assassin thing, and she was boring. And this week, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody that's like not caught up yet, but it was like somebody that's like one of my all-time favorites, and I was just not blown away at all. Like it was a lot of just kind of like moving across the stage, you know? Speaking of incidentally, this is so funny because y'all know that I love Tamisha Iman. I think I have the fan in the car right now. Do I have the fan in here? My Tamisha? No, but I sure do have some Creed Aventus in here from, where was this that we went that I kept it in the car? Oh, the pageant. So I wanted to spray it right before I walked in. Where is the, spray a little cologne on to smell good. I'm almost out of it. I really don't want to spend the money to have to buy some more. But I will. Oh God, it smells so good. It's my favorite cologne in the entire world. But I have this Tamisha Iman fan. Is it in here? Maybe I took it out of here. But anyway, somebody sent it to me and I love it. And it says, the lady said, the lady said leave or something like that. Because that's what she said on the show. Oh my God. Forgot how much that cologne, how much I love that cologne. I'm like trying to make it last, you know? But anyway, there is this YouTube channel called Kalani Productions that I found, and they like upload all these video clips a day of like pageants from the past. I think I talked about this on here the other day. And I have been watching all of these pageant clips, and somehow, because a lot of the queens I've never heard of before. I mean, it's literally clips from like Miss Florida Continental 1995 and Miss Gay US of A 1993 and Miss Gay America 1989. I mean, I don't even know some of these people that are in these pageants, but I just love watching it. And I really like watching it because it's really old school drag, which is what I really enjoy anyway with like local drag queens and stuff. But Tamisha Iman did talent for Miss Continental, and it was like 1995. You guys, I should find this video and link it underneath here if you know who Tamisha Iman is. It was unbelievable. She can dance like nobody's business, and she was bucking and kicking and doing all these high kicks and stuff, and that's what we called it back in the day. And she's doing all this stuff, and I'm like, that was never shown on RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, that should have been able to be shown on RuPaul's Drag Race. You know, and I think sometimes the queens don't get... I don't think they get shown for what they're famous for or what they're known for, you know, like out at bars and stuff like that. I also think it's sad too that it's like if you're not a RuPaul's Drag Race queen, then you haven't made it yet, which I think is like sad kind of today, you know, like, I mean, there was always like the popular queens in any town, you know, that we would go to, like, you know, whether it was Indianapolis or Chicago or Louisville or, you know, back in the day, it was like Dayton was always known for having, like, Nina West is from Dayton, I think, but is always, like, you know, Dayton was always known for having really great queens. Louisville, Nashville, Tennessee was known for having big queens. Indianapolis was known for having, like, national pageant winners for a long time. And then bars started closing down, and we didn't have the same queens that we had back in the day. Much of, like, the gay community was centered around drag bars back in the day, and drag shows and drag pageants and stuff like that. Definitely in a way that it's not today. I actually think there was this channel that I found through that Kalani Productions, because when I was looking up somebody, well, I was looking up to see if Paris Campbell, who won National Entertainer of the Year last week in Louisville, I was looking to see if anybody had her finale night talent, because I wanted to see the talent that won her the pageant. And so I was like searching for it on YouTube, and that's how they didn't have it, but they had like her from pageants in the past. But that's how I found this Kalani Productions, which has like 638 subscribers, and yes, I am one of them. I love it. I just sit there and like go through all the videos that they've posted for the day. But anyway, I don't even know how they got all these videos. I mean, seriously, tons and tons of clips of videos from years and years and years ago. I don't know how they kept order of all this or anything. So anyway, there's actually a queen here in Indianapolis. She's probably 10 years older than me, and she on her Facebook posts a lot of videos like that because she's kept video of everything from like literally like the late 70s, maybe early 80s. She's got clips on there from like the 21 Club here in Indianapolis and stuff like that of people working that have long been forgotten. And I love that she does that, and I always watch videos on her Facebook channel. But this other channel I had found, which was called like, it's not called this anymore, but it was called like Click Click Expose. And I remember that my ex back in the day, he and I, because we went to a lot of drag pageants, well, National Entertainer of the Year being the main one, we would buy, you can buy the pageants on DVD, and so I would like get online and I would buy the pageant, and then when it came in the mail, we would like a whole, like a Saturday or a Sunday, we would just get like a bunch of drunk, that was, I wasn't drinking these days, we would get a bunch of junk food, and you know, the pageants are like 3 or 4 hours long, and we would sit there and we would just watch a pageant in our living room like we had been there. And so anyway, I might do this on Saturday night. I was gonna watch that Nomadland, but I don't know. I was looking on this YouTube channel thing, and then it like took me to this, like, there was like a link to the website where you could go back and you could buy the pageants, like National Entertainer of the Year was the main one, and you could buy there was a couple Miss Nationals, I think. But anyway, you could go back and buy the pageant and stream it for like $3.90. You could buy it for like $20 or to download, or you could just stream it, the rental, for like $3.99. And I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. Like, I am so in trouble because I love to watch a drag pageant. Love to watch a drag pageant. And I don't think people really, like, I talk about it on here and whatever, but I don't think people really understand, like, from like 18 to 22, I mean, like, I was raised by drag queens and went out with drag queens and carried their stuff everywhere and helped them put their productions together and stayed up late at night while they were getting dance routines ready and went and got them food and, you know, went with them when they had national pageants and went out of town to work for the weekend and stuff, you know, like, that was my life. And I love pageants, but I love watching drag pageants. I love it. Or female impersonation pageants. And National Entertainer is probably my favorite. I've never been to Miss Continental. I've always wanted to go. I know Miss Continental is like the creme de la creme. It's like the top of the game. And but National Entertainer of the Year and Miss Continental are really known for their talent, like the talent that they put together, and they have like 20 dancers and all kinds of stuff. So I'm thinking about renting one of these pageants and watching it this weekend. I don't know which one to watch though. I haven't been to National Entertainer of the Year. Well, that's not true. Alex and I was gonna say since like 2003. The last time that I went, like, we used to go every year, and I got a table, my ex and I, and we would take our friend Scotty with us. I would get a table for 4, and then 3 of us would just sit there. And our friend Scotty would go with us, the one that passed away 2 summers ago. Was it 2 summers ago or last summer? I can never remember. It was 2 summers ago. He would always go with us. And that was when the final nights were at the Connection. And then they moved to this like pavilion that I don't even remember what it's like, Horseshoe Casino or something. They moved it to for a while, and then they moved it somewhere else. And so anyway, then I didn't go to Entertainer of the Year for a long time. And then we would buy them online. I don't know why we stopped going. I can't remember why we stopped going. We went... So we got together in 2001. So we went 2001, 2002, 2003, which I believe was the year Nina D'Angelo won. And that's the talent that I've been wanting to see for years and years and years and years and years. She did a mix. I don't know why I remember it to this day, but she did a mix. If anybody can find this talent, let me know, because I really want to see it. She did a mix. I think that was the first year that they actually filmed the pageant. Was maybe the year after she started or something, because I saw on the website it said like this is the first year that we started it or something. So that might be why there's no video footage of it, because they might have filmed it the year after, and they were always like front and center at the pageants. Like they would be filming it like front and center. So it's like when you watch these, if anybody wants to watch them, let me know in the comment section below and I'll tell you how to find it. If you want to watch a drag pageant, if you put in click expose, it'll pull up what it's called now. It's not called that anymore. It's called something else, but you can literally rent them and stream them from right there. You just have to kind of like, you know, maneuver around the website a little bit to find it. But if you've never seen a drag pageant, I mean, they're so fun. They are so fun. And they're just like a pageant like any other, you know, anything else. Look at this tree right here in front of this house. Well, I passed it kind of by, but isn't that house so pretty? And then look, it has this big tree out front. I love that. Right here on Main Street in Zionsville. Oh my God, I'm time. Oh my God. So, I haven't realized I talked that long. But yeah, so you can go there and you can rent these. But anyway, I don't know why we stopped going. I don't remember what happened. Oh my God, this woman is walking 4 dogs. They're so cute, little dogs, 4 little dogs. It's 1 o'clock in the morning almost. Well, it's 12:54. But then we would buy them online, and we would buy old ones, we'd buy new ones. We didn't see Erica Andrews. Did I see Erica Andrews win? I feel like I did though. I know I saw her give up her title at National Entertainer of the Year because her dress was amazing, and I can still see it in my head. But anyway, yes, I did see her. I did see her win at National Entertainer of the Year. I saw Deranged win. I feel like I saw Nina West win. Deranged did Mary Poppins. Why Deranged has never been on RuPaul's Drag Race is beyond me. And so many people have copied her drag. She does this, well, one year, was that preliminary? Because they do preliminary talent and then they do the final night talent. And I can't remember if this was, well, one year she did Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious from Mary Poppins, and she literally had like, you know, like the cartoon version of it where it like, okay, she had like all of the characters dressed up on stage. Unbelievable. And then it got faster and faster and faster and faster, and she had this big thing of like, it was supposed to be like, you know, nose candy, but it wasn't, okay? It was just like, you know, I don't know, powdered sugar or something. But anyway, and they had it on their noses, and it was just like faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. It stopped. I didn't even realize it stopped. But I was talking about Deranged, her talent. Like half of, I think she may have moved to LA now, somebody told me. But anyway, half of her was like dressed and painted like a guy and with like, you know, real short hair. And the other half of her was painted and dressed like a woman with a dress and like, you know, a wig and makeup and stuff. And so depending on which way she was facing the audience was like, it was fantastic. And she had all these dancers with her that like choreographed the whole dance. So it looked like at one point there was like all women on stage and all men, and they were dancing with each other, and it just really was cool. Nina West talent. Why do I feel like I was not at Nina West when she won EOI, but I could be wrong. She did a Disney thing too. I think she did Beauty and the Beast. Now a lot of them do that, like big productions with, you know, characters and all kinds of stuff. Because it's the talent is like 80% of the win, you know. Erica Andrews' talent, her final night was like, well, her preliminary talent was Mary Catherine Gallagher from Saturday Night Live, and then it went into like this dance routine that was unbelievable, and she had all these dancers on stage and stuff like that. And but her final night was just her on stage, which like nobody ever does anymore, because, well, somebody I think came out at one point, like one person, but nobody ever does that anymore because like everybody always has dancers and stuff. You guys are probably like, this is so boring, Peter, we could care less. I just love talking about it, it's fun. I always, back in the day, I like wanted to like work with a drag queen, like, and help them pick out like their gown and figure out their talent of like the winning talent of what it could be, and like put it all together. I would love to do that for somebody at like a drag pageant. But anyway, she came out and she did a monologue mixed with, it was monologues from Mommy Dearest, and she was dressed like Joan Crawford, and you know, she was dressed like Faye Dunaway and Mommy Dearest. So it was, and her outfits changed and stuff, and it was a monologue from Mommy Dearest that mixed into Shirley Bassey's, some Shirley Bassey song. I can't remember what the song is, but anyway, it was unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you felt like you were watching Faye Dunaway, and it was done real funny and done really like unbelievably talented. And other people have actually copied that talent as well. I've seen that talent done by other people, or similar talent done like that by other people in drag pageants. I'm like, part of it is like, okay, Erica Andrews won. I think she did the same talent for Continental when she won too. It's like she won 1 or 2 pageants off of that. Like, somebody else comes along and does it. Everybody in the world knows Erica Andrews was famous for doing that. You know, it's just like the one with Deranged. Everybody knows that. Nina West, her presentation gown that she did, was it her evening gown or was it her presentation? It was her presentation gown, I think. Looked like she had this huge hoop skirt on, and it was actually people standing around her. And so she started and she went like this, and as she like moved like this, the people moved, and they started like walking away like they were like ghouls and goblins around her, and the dress looked like it was moving. It was unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. You guys have no idea the talent. It was unbelievable. It's nothing like you've even seen on Broadway. It's like 10 times better than that. So, I'm gonna buy a pageant this weekend. I don't know what pageant I'm gonna watch, but I'm gonna sit out there on the front porch. Hopefully it's nice. It's supposed to be cool the next couple days. But I'm gonna sit out on that front pageant, and I'm gonna get me some treats, and I'm gonna sit there, or front porch, front pageant, I said. I'm gonna sit out there with my computer, and I am gonna watch a pageant, and I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it. Cheers. I gotta buy some more Diet Coke. I'm almost out. I can't believe it. 30 Diet Cokes I bought like a month ago, and I'm almost out of them already. Oh, Nina D'Angelo. What did she do? The talent that I've wanted to see all these years. I don't know how I remember it, but like when she came out, like the audience went nuts. She had this whole thing built, and it was like a runway. And she did some song. Well, she did 2 Broadway songs. Well, she did a talking piece first from Legally Blonde, the musical, that then went into this Legally Blonde song from the musical. That then went into, that whole part came down, and she had all of these, dancers come out, and they were all dressed like in different cool fashions and stuff, and they walked this they just did this runway walk. It was fantastic. I mean, people went crazy, and it was to this it was to the musical Aida, and it was this song. I don't know what the song was, but I loved the song. I like looked forever to find it, and I finally found it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I didn't know what it was from. This is back in the day before Shazam and stuff, you know? So I'm like trying to remember lyrics from the song, and I would like, you know, like Google them and go, and finally I found that it was from, I bet I have it in my iTunes. If I pulled over, I could tell you what song it is. But yeah, it was fantastic talent. It's unbelievable. I saw Trinity the Tailor. I saw her compete, maybe more than once, but I didn't see her win. And the year that I saw her compete, she did this 70s disco thing, and she did it to the Amanda Lepore. She had cute dancers too, and it was like her and like 6 or 8 dancers, and there was like talking pieces. It was all like mixed together. And she did the Amanda Lepore song. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. You know that song? She did that song. Okay, I wanted to pull in here. I wanted to see if I have this. If I have this song in my iTunes, I will die, because I haven't listened to it in years. It's so funny if I have it. Okay, let's see. Genres. Let's just go underneath albums. I don't have it. I had it on some iTunes at some point. Is that what it's called? Is it AIDA? It's AIDA. Soundtrack. Maybe this isn't it. I can't even see. I need my reading glasses. Here's my junky car reading glasses. I'll know it as soon as I see the song. Every story is a love story now. Fortune favors the brave, and the period how I know you. My Strongest Suit. It was called My Strongest Suit. I'm gonna put it in here and see if it comes up. Nina D'Angelo. I've looked this up so many times. I know it's not gonna come up. No. God, that scared me. Drag Queen Mixes Winning Talent. Mixes by Nina D'Angelo. Pricing and history. What is this? This is a collection of some of my favorite talent mixes mixed by me. Each one of these tracks won me the talent category of various local, state, and national competitions. These can be used as huge productions or performed at a regular show. It all depends on what your particular needs are. I have never seen this before. This is a great collection that I have wanted to share for a while. As a bonus, I have included a Lady Gaga mega medley that I made myself. That is a crowd favorite all over the country. Enjoy. Track list 1, I Lose My Breath. Mix 2, Strongest Suit. That's it. Mix 3, Lucy in the Sky with Lucy in the Sky. I don't remember who I saw do that, but somebody did Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. The one that's by Natalie Cole, and it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Pink mix, Michael Jackson style, Trailer Park mix, Bette Midler mix, Jessica Rabbit mix, Wonder Woman mix. How do you get these? Strongest Suit is 2. Sold for. Start free trial. What does that do? What is this? I don't understand how you... How do you even listen to them, though? What? Oh, you can buy it on eBay. Oh, got it. Can you, though? Look, I'm going to look up Nina D'Angelo on eBay. Let's see what pulls up. No matches found. And pulls up nothing. You guys, I can seriously sit and oh my Lord, that scared me to death. Oh my God. I thought that was a car behind me. It was like that Joyride movie. Candy cane, candy cane. God, that scared me so bad. I can just like Google the most worthless stuff, you guys, forever. We should go into my iTunes and see if I have that song, My Strongest Suit. Let's go in here and see. I don't think I do. I had it at some point. My Strongest Suit. Nope, I sure don't. I'm gonna download it. Well, I want the whole mix though. Nina D'Angelo. Maybe I've been looking at it all wrong. D'Angelo. Maybe I should look up the song name instead of... I've been looking up EOI. And it pulls her up in talent, but it's just like not that talent. Here it is, Aida Live. Am I pronouncing it right? Aida? Idina Menzel. Wait. Here's some drag queen doing it. Here's Nina D'Angelo doing Sexy Back, Entertainer of the Year. Nina D'Angelo crowning Sin City, US of A, 2008. Bibi Zahara Bonet, Get Fierce, Lose Yourself official video. What is this? Maddie Ziegler on controversial Sia video. Why is that underneath here? That doesn't even make any sense. You know what? While we're doing this, oh, there's Michael from Pathology. He came up in my recommended. Coffee to take in your submarine. Oh, I already watched this video. This was 3 days ago. That's why I did my video today on my review. Stranger Things 4 might not happen. Here's why. New details we weren't expecting. Here's a video about it. What's that about? Oh, somebody right away said, don't waste our time spreading fake rumors, please. Someone else said, you're the same one describing a teaser trailer for season 4. Which one is it? I just watched an interview with that one kid because it said the interview was called, it's probably why it's pulling this up. It was called, you know the one kid with the curly hair? He spilled secrets behind the scenes on what's happening in season 4, and he said, and all he said was that the whole thing. He was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and the whole thing was all about his like prank show that he does. But it said that he said this is the scariest season of Stranger Things that there has ever been. That's all he said. That was about it. But the whole thing's already been shot. It just isn't out yet. I don't know why they're not putting it out yet. They should. Let's read a couple comments. I was reading comments earlier from my vlog. Okay. Michelle said, need a book recommendation. I just finished A Silent Patient and thinking about people we meet on vacation based on your review, but I don't know that I've ever read anything other than thrillers in forever. So, Michelle, if you like The Silent Patient, I would recommend The Maidens, which was written by the same author, Alex Michaelides. I would highly, highly recommend as a thriller anything by Denise Mina. Conviction was fantastic. I loved it. It's about a true crime podcast and she following it. I would also recommend Courtney Summers' Sadie, and as a thriller, which was fantastic, and highly, 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 highly recommend anything by Grady Hendrix. Definitely, I would recommend The Final Girls. Is it that or is it just Final Girls? Final Girls Support Group. and Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Those 2 books are fantastic. So those would be my thriller recommendations. Okay. Let's see. Adriana said she timestamped at 29:30, and she said, keeping the relationship exciting. This part you mentioned, don't be afraid of your partner changing and growing. Continue to fall in love with that person over and over during that process. I cherish those words. It is so true, though, you know. You guys, so many people said that they were Vloggerinos in the comment section below. I just can't even tell you how happy that made me. I was kind of so joking about that, but I was like, this will be really cute to see how many people like actually like watch it on a regular basis and like consider themselves Vloggerinos. And like literally, I read the comments the next day, and it was like every comment was like, I'm a Vloggerino, I'm a Vloggerino, I'm a Vloggerino. I loved it. It made me so happy. Right here, Amber, a Vloggerino. Beth said, I'm retiring in 14 days, in 14 working days. Beth said, I'm retiring in 14 working days, moving from Pittsburgh to Vegas, and saying goodbye to winter forever. Congratulations! Oh my God, that scared me, that car. T said, my fiance and I watch your vlog before bed every night. Thank you for all that you do, Peter. Oh, thank you. Stella said, I remember when Jason died, Alex's friend. You know, when we lose people, one of the gifts we can give after they pass is keeping their memories alive, and you do that, Peter. They always live on in the stories you tell. That's how we get immortality in the end. I love that. Thank you so much, Stella. I appreciate that. Sarah said, how sad how that grandma was treating those girls. Makes my heart hurt. I saw something similar at Walmart a while back. Breaks my heart to see kids treated like that. I will never understand. I mean, she wasn't mean, but the way that it was about the woman in the pool. I just didn't understand it. And yet these are the same people that then are like, when their, you know, grandkids are graduating from high school, they're like, it just seems like yesterday that we were in that pool swimming around. Can't believe they're going off to college and they'll never want to come and visit me anymore. I wouldn't want to either. Aw, Amber said, I feel the same as that girl. I really rely on your Peterisms video. Thank you so much. Kimberly said, had a pool day today and gambled. It was 109 heat index. Aw, love that. Sean said, hello, Peter. Great to see you today. I hope you are having a wonderful week. Wishing my good Judy family a great night and sleep well. You too. Who said good well? Who said something to her back? Gina said, Sean, I hope you're having a wonderful night's sleep also. Aw, love that. To hell. I can't be pronouncing that name right. Said, third comment. Love you, Peter. I love you too. To hell and back. I'm joking. But let me know how to pronounce your name. Oh, here's Troy. Troy said, hey, my good Judy, Peter, and my amazing Vloggerinos. I always love watching... He said Vloggerians, though. I always love watching all of your amazing channels. I'm so blessed to have found you. Thank you so much for always helping me out with my ADHD and my anxiety. Aw, also my anger problems. Love you, Peter, and everyone. Oh yeah, and one more, one more, I love you. And Melissa was first. Melissa's first a lot. See, it's like Stephanie, proud Vloggerino. Kelly, I'm a Vloggerino. Love you, Peter. Cassie said, I love the pool stories. Oh, thank you. Megan, proud Vloggerino. Sarah, Vloggerino. Vloggerino here. Vloggerino, 1,000%, said Samantha. 100,000%. Lake said, Vloggerino since 2017. Vloggerino, baby, said Christy. Nicole said, I'm a Vloggerino, lurking every day. It's my birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Nicole. Cindy said, I'm a diehard Vloggerino. Leah said, Vloggerina. I don't know why that cracked me up so much. Mary Cat in Vegas Hell said, love your vlogs. I absolutely love to hear you talk. Aww. Leah said, I'm a big Vloggerino and proud. I'm glad you share your story and your days. Always another I love you. Always another I love you. Thanks for everything, Peter. Debbie said, proud Vloggerino here in Western Pennsylvania. And Vicky said, I'm a Vloggerino. I used to watch you to end my day because you would help me fall asleep. Now I watch you to start my day at 4 a.m. when I'm on my way to work. I put your vlog on for my drive. Makes me feel like we're driving together since it's still dark out at 4 a.m. Aww. Haley said, night swimming is the best. Sarah said, Vloggerino here. Ashley said, Vloggerino. Haley said, yeah, I'm a Vloggerino. No Chia put a bunch of emojis. Nancy said Vloggerina. Elin said Vloggerina. Amy said Vloggerino in the house. Aww. Alicia said, I miss your rant videos. I need to do some more. Brittany said Vloggerino. Chris said, I'm a Vloggerino. Davisu said Vloggerino. Shawnee said Vloggerino here. Nita said Vloggerinos unite as good GDs. You guys, this is making me so happy. HD Ezines said that her stepmom passed away today. I am sorry, sweetie. Aw, sending you love and prayers. Elizabeth said, I've been a Vloggerino for years. Magic Me said, I'm a huge Vloggerino. Fashion Girl said, I'm a happy Vloggerino. Lishy Bear said Vloggerino for sure. On and on and on. Oh my God. Clarissa said Vloggerino. Heather said Vloggerino for life. Melissa said hello, hello, hello with blue heart. Caitlin said Vloggerino since 3 years. Minimalist said the condo community pool drama totally cracks me up. Grandma poopy face. Josie said, I'm a Vloggerino. Oh, you guys, I love it. Somebody underneath here was talking about, hold on a second, from the Challenger thing. Challenger was January, this is from Risa, said Challenger was January 1986, which means I would have been 14, which is weird, because I thought I was younger than that. But I was home from school that day, however old I was. And Krista McAuliffe was a school teacher. That's right. And she said, Princess Diana, Elvis passing, and the Challenger explosion all stick out in my mind. I don't remember Elvis passing. Princess Diana passing and Princess Diana getting married, I definitely remember. And I love this song. She said, Alan Jackson, where were you when the world stopped turning? I remember. I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs. And Tiffany said Vloggerino here. And Patty said, I'm a proud Vloggerino. I could go on and on and on with these. C said, love being a Vloggerino. Samantha said, keep the slot content coming. Kelly said Vloggerino. And NA said part-time Vloggerino. A. Smith said Vloggerino. Amy said Vloggerino here. Anne said Vloggerino. Love you, Peter. Diana said Vloggerino. Sean said, I'm a huge Vloggerino. I'm proud of it. Joelle said, total Vloggerino. Stella said, I love being a Vloggerino. Lisa said, Vloggerino check-in. And Troy said, I'm a major Vloggerino and so proud of it. We'll end on Troy. Everybody, you guys were so nice to me. Thank you so much. Can I just tell you about my gambling with my friend Valerini? Did not work in my favor. Okay, let's just talk about this for a second. Valerini, she did very well. She always does. Anyway. I'm hungry. I ate that poke bowl earlier, but like I didn't eat the whole thing because I wanted to save something for when I came home or later. But I also have my leftover Maggiano's. And it is kind of cold in this car. I'm gonna turn the heat on because the windshield is like frosting up. But I wanted to save something for when I come home later in case I want to watch a little bit of a show and eat. That's why I was talking about I don't know what show to watch next. But you guys can't talk back. I wish you could sometimes, because if you could, then I could say, well, what should I eat tonight? And then you could tell me, see? But anyway. Oh, there's a Yats over there. I didn't know there was a Yats. Yats is like red beans and rice, like Cajun, jambalaya. I love it. I haven't had it in a long time. I used to get it at least once a week. It's real cheap. I used to get the drunken chicken before I was a vegetarian, but now that I'm a vegetarian, I always get their, I think it's like their veggie etouffee or something like that. And it comes with French bread, that, like garlic bread, you know, that has it's so unhealthy, I'm sure. It has so much butter and stuff on it. And I always get extra bread and a piece of a peanut butter pie. Oh my God, that they outsourced from this local restaurant here in town, and it's so delicious. It's so good. That's a little hot. I need to open the windows maybe. Well, I cleaned off my windshield and now like the water is just sticking there. That's the problem. I can't believe the kids are going back to school this weekend next. Like, I really can't. I was talking to Melissa, and the state fair starts this weekend. So, you know, back in the day, the state fair always started, that was like the last big thing of summer. I feel like it always started like around the 17th or something. It starts on the weekend, and then it goes for like 2 weeks. But the reason why I always say it's crazy to me that the state fair is like so early and whatever is because there's a lot of kids that show animals at the state fair, because I mean, we're like in an agricultural state. So they're in Future Farmers of America, or they're, you know, in, you know, they show animals at the fair. There's a lot of kids that show animals at the fair all through high school and stuff. It's like a big deal for farmers. We're a farming state, you know? We're a farming state, but it's the truth. And I don't know how they miss school unless they're going to show a lot of the animal stuff on the weekend, maybe. I don't know, you know? There's just, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's for like kids at the fair. I don't know how they're going to do it with kids being in school. What's the other thing besides Future Farmers of America that I'm thinking of? That all the, why can't I think of what it's called? The farming thing. I've talked about it on here before. But it's crazy to me. Our nephews go back to school the 10th, and I think that's the latest of any school I've heard in Indianapolis area, the suburbs and everything around here. I think that's the latest that anybody goes back to school. 4-H, that's what I was thinking about. You know, a lot of the kids are in 4-H, and so they have crafts and paintings, and I mean, it's not, 4-H is not just farming, but they'll have like crafts and cooking, you know. They have cook-offs and stuff at the fair, and all that kind of stuff is part of 4-H. And, I don't know, it just is weird to me. It doesn't even feel like, I was in Meyer, and like, they didn't even have completely all of their school stuff out yet, you know? But it just seems weird to me that, like, we're like in the middle of summer and school's starting. Has it always been like this, like the last 10 years? Like, is school started this early again, like the last 10 years? It can't be. I mean, don't get me wrong. The camera died as I was pouring my Diet Coke into my... This is how it makes it back into the mini recycling bin back here. The thing goes to the recycling bin. But don't get me wrong. I mean... I'm not super upset about it because then I can go to the pool and there aren't, you know. I don't mind the kids at the pool. Like, that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is when I can't go to my neighborhood pool because there's 15 kids in the pool, you know. That's what bothers me. And that doesn't even bother me. I can sit in the shallow end, just sit there and talk to somebody, you know what I mean? But then it's like, you know, they're splashing and everything like that. And that doesn't even really bother me. I mean, like, Tanya and I always joke about, like, you get in a pool, you're going to get splashed, right? But it's on the days that I go up there that there's literally nowhere to sit at the pool whatsoever, you know? So, but I like the kids to have fun, you know, but darn it, I like to have fun at the pool too, you know? I think also, like, it's not so much to me like the little kids. They're actually more well behaved than the moms that bring their like 10 to 14-year-olds up there. And then they're like splashing and they have 400 toys in the pool and you can't swim around it. And the moms just sit there and talk on their phones the whole time, completely oblivious. They don't even, half of them come in their swimming suits, you know? Like if they came in a swimsuit and were like in the pool with their kids and whatever, I'd be like, that's cool, you know, whatever. But like they just like sit there the whole time. They'll like walk outside the gate. They're like, don't even pay attention to their kids, you know? And like their kids are running all around the pool and I'm sitting there watching it like, I hope she doesn't fall and hurt herself, you know? And the mom's like out somewhere like by her car, like talking on her phone, and I'm like, who's watching these kids, you know, as they're running around the pool and they're pushing each other in and all this kind of stuff. And it's just, you know, like that's not super relaxing for me. And it is what it is. I mean, it's part of what goes along with the pool, you know. At the other pool, you don't deal with that because there's lifeguards and they don't tolerate that stuff. You be running around the pool. When I was running around the pool, when I was growing up as a kid, you know, my parents would have been like, you continue to run around this pool, you're going to slip and slide. You know, my dad would say, we're not going to the emergency room today. So if you run again, we're leaving. So that would be said like one time, and then that was it. I was ready to be in the pool and behave and have fun, you know? It's interesting because, like, a lot of the people that I talked to at the pool last summer, they aren't even up there this year. I haven't seen half the people at the pool that I saw last summer. This one couple that came up a lot to the summer, came up to the pool a lot last summer, the one said it was always 5 o'clock somewhere. I wondered why I hadn't seen them at the pool this year. And so somebody that I met, their name came up because they live real close to them. And she said that they got divorced, but they still live together, but they don't get along. And I was like, oh, so that must be why they're not at the pool anymore, having 5 o'clock somewhere always. But I liked them. They were fun. But I think she might have got the story wrong, because when I met them, they were like both divorced and remarried. And I think maybe she just got the story wrong. Because like that was how they introduced themselves to me. They were like, we're both divorced. We've been divorced, but we're remarried. Or not remarried, like they're remarried to each other, but like they weren't divorced from each other. You know what I mean? Like they were married to other people, they got divorced, and then they married each other. That was kind of how they introduced themselves to me. So I don't know if that story's true. I saw my neighbor this morning when I was coming in the door, and he was like, he was taking his dog out, and he was like, yeah, he's been waking up at all hours of the night. He was like, he woke up last night at midnight and was barking, and he woke up at 4 o'clock and he was barking, and now he's woken up again. So he's like, I've taken him out each time. He's so good. Oh my God. He walks that dog like miles every day. And I said to him, I said, I heard him barking last weekend, because they go to bed really early. And, because I kind of joke with him about it, because I'm like, we're on completely different schedules. They go to bed super early. And, like, sometimes when I come home from vlogging and stuff, I can see him in the kitchen drinking coffee, like, working on his computer. He's real into that ancestry stuff. We always talk about that. He's always looking up his ancestry and stuff on his computer in the morning. That's what he told me. And baseball cards. He collects baseball cards, too. I love that. Don't you love that? I love anybody that collects something. I think that's cool. But anyway. So, he was, so last weekend, was it last weekend that Alex was in Miami, or was it the weekend before? Whenever it was the weekend that Alex was in Miami, it was like midnight on Saturday, or sometime around, it was late, and the dog just started barking like crazy. And I was like, or maybe it was last weekend, and that was when, maybe it was last weekend when Alex was downtown at that concert that he went to with his friends, and then Jason met them out, that DJ. But the dog started barking like crazy, like around midnight. And I was like, I mean, like really loud, like I could hear it. And I was like, I hope they're okay over there. Like, I hope something didn't happen, because they're never up that late. So I thought it was really weird that the dog was barking that much. I have like no lip gloss that's like left in any of these things. Well, this one's got like a little bit in it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's some in there. I should have gone for a night swim tonight, because the next couple days it's supposed to be like in the 70s, and it's not supposed to be that warm. I keep on saying that. You know, it doesn't take that long for me to enjoy a night swim. It's like I go up there and I get in the pool and I kind of swim around a little bit. Oh, the battery's gonna die. Damn it, Janet. Can't we have nice things? But, I get in the pool and I swim around for a little bit, and then I do some handstands and stuff like that. I stay in it enough for my fingers to start getting kind of pruny, you know, because that's how you make mermaids. When your fingers start getting pruny, then you're a mermaid. That's what I told that one little girl at the pool. She was so sweet. She was like, I'm a mermaid. She said, she's a devil. She was talking about her little sister. She goes, I'm an angel and a mermaid. And her little sister was real upset about it. She said, she goes, I am though, or something like that. It was so funny. Little kids crack me up so much. Do you know what is so funny? Do you remember when you were a kid, did you ever tell everybody like you and your best friend were like twins? I remember that my dad's friend had a daughter, and we would always like be together like at the boat, like in Saugatuck together, and we would, you know, and here in town we would always tell people we were twins. We didn't look nothing alike. I don't know why. We were both only children. I think maybe that's why we wanted to be twins, you know? But we were both only children. We weren't anybody's kind of twin. Okay, I'm gonna pull in here and I'm gonna change this battery real quick. All right, okay, I'm back. I literally went to go change the battery, and the battery went beep, 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 beep. It just died on me. So anyway, but do you remember that when you would tell people that you were twins? So this little girl at the pool, I don't know how old she was. I'm not real good with ages. She was probably like, well, Carlitos is 8. She was probably close to his age. So she was like, I was sitting on the step. See, this is like I think the kids are sweet and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I enjoy them having, you know, I think it's nice that they get to enjoy themselves in the pool and all that kind of stuff. As long as they're like, you know, now this group of kids, like their parents get in the pool, and their parents like pay attention to the grandparents and the aunt and uncle and stuff. This was the aunt that just came over, and she just like jumped right in the pool. This is the aunt that I love. When she comes to the pool, she always brings the watermelon with that tahini powder or pepper for, you know, she brings it, but like she always offers it to us, and Alex had some, and she's always got Modelo's and stuff at the pool. But anyway, I love her. And she gets in the pool with the kids, and she's got water guns and all kinds of stuff with them. So it was her husband's brother's grandkids is who they were. And this little girl, I was sitting on the step, and she was so sweet. She was like telling me about her best friend, and she was like very serious. You know how kids are when they're telling you about stuff and they're very serious. She was like, she's my best friend. She's been my best friend for a long time. And I was like, oh really? And she's like, yeah, years now. And I said, oh, years? And she goes, well, as long as I've been to going to this school. And she goes, we're in a special club. And I said, oh, you are? And she said, mm-hmm. She said, it's every day the club changes. And she goes, she called it something like the special club or something like that. She was like, every day it changes. And I go, oh, the club does? And she goes, yeah. She goes, and then she's telling me about, like, I know who these people are, right? Anyway, Tanya said to me, I was telling Tanya this story, and she goes, why is it? Because whenever we're at the pool, like the pool that we go to, the kids are always wanting to tell us stories. We don't even know them, and they're wanting to tell us stories, you know? So anyway, she was like, why is it the kids are always wanting to tell us the stories? So anyway, but this little girl, her aunt was laughing so hard because we were both sitting there, and she was like, I'm in this club, and it's every day it changes. It's a special club or something like that. And I said, well, who's in your special club? And she said, well, it's my best friend that I told you. But she said, sometimes we tell people we're twin sisters. She goes, but we're not. She goes, but we tell people that we're twin sisters. And I said, oh, do you guys look alike? And she was like, no, but she said, we're so close that we act like we're twin sisters. She said, we just tell everybody that. And I said, oh, okay. Because I kind of related, you know, because I had done that when I was younger. Which is so funny because I look back on that now, and I was like so serious. I wanted somebody to believe that me and this girl were twins, you know, brother and sister. We didn't look nothing alike, like I said. And these adults that we would tell, they didn't believe it either, you know. But I didn't know that at the time. I thought they believed that we were twins. We thought they believed it, you know. Now I'm looking back on this girl's telling me about her friend that is kind of like her twin, but not really. I don't really understand. But anyway, and everything she says, her sister's going, that's not true. Her sister was like 4 or 5. She's like, no, that's not true. You're a liar. She goes, you don't know, you don't go to the same school as me. She kept on saying that. You don't know, you don't go to the same school as me. But anyway, I'm in this group, and it's this club. We started it ourselves because we're the most popular people at our school. And I said, oh, you are? And she goes, yeah. She goes, well, now there's different groups of populars. And I said, oh, there are? And she's like, yeah, there's like there's this one, you know, they're real popular because they're real like into the sports and stuff. She goes, but I'm not all that. But she's like, we're real popular for our club. And I said, okay, well, what's the club? And she goes, well, it changes every day. She goes, sometimes it's like the art club. And she goes, then we all have to do like arts and crafts and stuff. Maybe she didn't say crafts, I don't know, art stuff. But she's like, but then other days it's like the technology club. Yesterday was a technology club. I said it was. And she was like, oh yeah. I said, what is a technology club? She goes, well, she didn't know because she was making it up as she went, you know. And I said, is it like video games and stuff? That's right, video games. We played video games all day yesterday. I said, oh, so you were at school yesterday? Oh, no, it's not just during the school year. We tell each other what it's going to be. We like, each one of us comes up with it in the morning, and then we tell each other what's the club going to be that day. And she said, sometimes there's, you know, the fire day. And I said, oh Lord, what's that? She goes, well, it's kind of like, you know, when you get a badge, you have to learn how to like make a fire. I said, you're making fires and stuff? And her you know, great aunt was sitting right there. She's like, you make fires? She's like, no. She goes, we just call ourselves a fire club, you know, that day. She goes, we just wear all red or something like that. She got caught in that story real quick, you know. She's like, I don't even know what these friends' names were. I'm just making them up. But she was like, you know, but now Sally, we won't be in homeroom together next year. She goes, so I don't know what we're going to do about the club. She looked real stressed about it. And I go, oh my. And her great aunt goes, well, you're moving. And she goes, what? And she goes, you're moving next week, remember? She goes, aren't you going to go to a different school? And she goes, oh. She looked real confused. And then she goes, you forgot. Here they are talking to me, okay? Here they are talking to me up in the pool. And she goes, Aunt so-and-so, she goes, don't you remember I go to that Christian school? We've only got 10 people in each grade. And I'm like, oh my God, they go to one of those small Christian schools. She's probably going to call and they're going to be like, what did you do this summer? Well, I told somebody, I told this old gay man at the pool that I was a twin. Well, who is this man that you met? Well, he's friends with my great aunt, and they just sit in the pool and they talk and they tell stories about the other people in the neighborhood. And he always has a hot pink coffee cup from Starbucks. Can't you just see this now? So anyway, oh my God, her great aunt and I, we got laughing so hard at her telling these stories about her special club and her friends and stuff. She got so many twins, she doesn't know what to do with it. She was like this other girl, she was like, now this other girl, I don't know what her name was. Let's call her Judy. She's like, this other girl, Judy, she goes, we've been friends, but not as long as I've been friends with Sally. She goes, we haven't been that friends that long. She goes, but we're real close too. She goes, sometimes we tell people that we're twins too. She goes, because we're like, we have a lot of like, we think the same. She goes, you know how like twins, like they'll say the same thing at the same time and they think the same thing? She goes, me and my other friend, me and Sally were like that. She goes, we think the same thing. We finish each other's sentences and stuff. I said, oh, you do? She's like, oh yeah, we're almost like twins, except we don't have the same parents. I said, oh, okay. She goes, we're almost like twins. I'm like, okay, I get it, girl, you're almost like twins. I was like cracking up so hard listening to all of this in the pool. This is how I spend my afternoons. And then I come home and I want to tell Alex about it, and he don't want to hear none of it. He could care less. He's like, do you have any idea what kind of day I've had? I've had such a long day that I don't want to hear about twins at the pool. So that's why I go get Tanya Jean for Fountain Coke. So we drive around and I'm telling her these stories and I'm laughing so hard and she's laughing so hard. And I'm like, Tanya, did you ever tell anybody that you were a twin when you were younger? She's like, yeah, about every single day when I was up in the church. She was like, I always had my best friend would be my twin. She goes, hell, she goes, I knew the pastor. And she goes, and everybody thought that, I would tell everybody that we were twins, and everybody knew that we weren't twins. And we walked around like we were twins. We wear the same outfits and stuff like that. She's like, the whole church congregation knew we weren't twins. We get laughing so hard, Tanya and I. Tanya will, like, when people tell her, like, when kids tell her stories, and stuff, they'll say, like, what was the story the one kid told us at the pool? Something about... Tanya, like, matches them. But anyway... She like asks him all these funny questions and gets him going and whatever. But like, there's either like 20 people at the pool and I don't go, or there's like nobody this year. It's like either or, And the next week it's supposed to be cold, so I'm not going to be going to the pool as much. Which kind of makes me sad. I want to go to the pool. And there hasn't been much neighborhood gossip either going on in the neighborhood. Well, except for this one people that they park like 6 cars on the street every night. But then I met her at the pool and I told her, she was like, everybody's so mean to me because I park all of these, we have all these cars that park out there because there's nowhere else for us to park them. We have to, And I said, oh, I understand. And she said, so you'll side with me now when people are talking about me and stuff in the neighborhood? I said, oh, sure. I got your back, don't worry about it. I do, though. I felt so bad for her. But anyway. Aren't my days so exciting? I think so. I think that neighborhood stuff goes back to when I was a kid, though. I can remember me and my friends, Katie and Jesse, walking up and down the street, and we talked to all the adults. We'd ask them and stuff, And you know what's so funny to me looking back on that is, those adult women on our street, they would like gossip to us kids. I mean, we were not that old at the time. We were young. They would gossip to us about the other neighbors on the street. Like, I can remember this one neighbor, we would talk to her, and we would, you know, we would say, oh, you know, Mrs. So-and-so, what's going on? And she'd say, did you see so-and-so's yard? Did you see what they're putting in there? She took out all those rose bushes, and now she's just got it seeded. Oh, we didn't see that. Oh my Lord, when we had seen all of it, you know, because they run the truck down there and all that kind of stuff. She'd say, and she's got her grandkids visiting this week, you know. Those kids are going to be running up and down the street. Nobody's going to be watching out for them. I'd be like, oh, we'd be like, oh my Lord, you know. You kids want some cookies? Come inside. We go inside our house. It smelled like cats. We get our cookies. We come outside. We throw them in the bushes because we were afraid to eat them. It's the truth. We thought we were hot to try. I can remember going over to we would get my friend Katie, and then we would go over to Jesse's house while she was getting ready. And I can remember, because her mom was like really good friend. Well, she's still alive, but her mom is still alive. She's still alive too. But her mom and my mom were like really good friends their entire life. And I can remember I would stand in front of Jesse's like mirror and her like entryway. When you walked in, there was like a mirror right there. And I would just like perfectly like feather my hair back like constantly. Because I had this little, you know, comb and stuff. And then I had my lip gloss with me. And I'm just perfectly, I had the bangs and then the hair that was feathered just perfectly. I didn't wear it like that to school that much though, because, you know, the boys were not nice about that, the feathers. The boys were not nice about the feathers. I remember one school picture day. I was very serious about my school pictures. Were any of you out there very serious about your school pictures? I always got the biggest package, although I didn't have nobody to give my pictures away to, but I always told my mom I wanted the biggest package. And she did too. She always wanted the biggest package. I was I think maybe like towards the end of elementary school, like we started getting into a little arguments about it because she would want to get the biggest package. And I was like, I don't have anybody to give these pictures to. This is stupid. I think I said we got into a fight about it one time or something. I kind of like fell out of that. But I was always very serious about looking very nice for my school picture. And I always had the like perfect outfit picked out. And like this one picture I have this shirt on that my mom and I called, it was like the brand name was French Toast, and it was like this plaid Western shirt. I loved it. Anyway, but I always had to look really nice for school. And this one year I had this sweater vest, I had it all picked out and stuff. And my friends and I, we went like in the neighborhood, we went out to go play in the woods the night before. And this is when my parents were separated. And I should see if I can find this picture. Well, I'm sure I can. It's down the basement somewhere in all my pictures. But I got burrs stuck in my hair. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like burrs from the woods. And I was crying so bad. I was like, it's school picture day, it's school picture day. And my mom was like, well, just don't go, sweetie. And I was like, no, if I don't go, then my picture won't be in, you know, like we won't get our pictures, because if it wouldn't be in the yearbook and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I wanted my picture in the yearbook, because if you didn't have your picture in the yearbook, then you didn't exist. You didn't go to school that year. And I don't know but why, looking back, that was so important to me. I really don't know why I even cared about that. It wasn't like anybody cared that I was in the yearbook, you know, but it was important to me for some reason. So anyway, I was so upset, and she finally called my dad, and my dad came over, and he was like trying to comb it out, and it was like this, pulling my hair. It hurt so bad to get this burr out, and he couldn't get it out, that he just, without telling me, he just cut it straight out of my hair. So let me tell you what my hair looked like that year, okay? I think I was like in 3rd grade or something like that. My hair was like, you know, down, like, you know, bowl haircut back in the day. And then back here, stuck straight up where he had cut it down. It was like this, sticking straight. There I am with this piece in the back of my hair sticking straight up. Oh my God, that was bad. And then one year, Tanya and I were talking about this just the other day, because she bought some of that Sun Bum stuff. That's basically the same thing. But do you guys remember Sun In? Okay, well, swore by Sun-In when I was a kid. And I would spray, I can still smell it to this day. I would spray that stuff in my hair, but you could also use a hairdryer, you remember? Well, I got it into my head that I wanted to have blonde hair for this school picture, right? So the night before, I sat in the bathroom and I started putting that stuff in my hair to where my hair was soaking wet, and I started like blow drying it and stuff like that. And I was like imagining that my hair was gonna look like Marilyn Monroe Platinum Blonde. I was gonna be beautiful for this picture. I knew it to be true, okay? Like, I knew my hair, I had an idea, you know? Do you ever have ideas of how it's gonna look and then it comes out? It's like those pictures. I think this is why I love so much, because this happens to me all the time, okay? Do you love so much those pictures and it's like what I ordered and what came in the mail kind of thing, you know, like what I ordered and what I got? I love those pictures because that is so the story of my life, okay? That just cracks me up so much when you see like this beautiful dress and then it comes and it's like wilted and in a baggie. I don't know why that stuff cracks me up, but it's just like the story of my life. So anyway, I can see myself in the bathroom. I mean, I kept on spraying like an entire bottle of this Sun-In in my hair, and I was gonna have like white blonde hair. I could imagine it. I could see it in my head, right? My hair turned such a horrible color of orange, and it literally, like, I got it to a point where it wouldn't change anymore. It was just like stuck at this orange color. I literally could not get it to change anymore. And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I was so upset. My mom was like, you're going to school tomorrow. You did this to yourself. Oh my God. My ex, you know, was a hairstylist, and well, he is a hairstylist. And so I would always want him to try new things on me, but not too different. You know what I mean? And one time I said to him, it was like a Sunday night, and I had like this convention or some conference I was going to the next day. I can't remember, it was something work related when I was working in treatment. And, but I was like, I'd wanted him to cut and color my hair, and he had kind of like waited like the whole weekend. And so finally it was like late on Sunday night, and he was like, okay, let's do this, because I wanted to look nice for whatever I had this thing the next day. And so he was like, let's do this. And so he was like cutting and coloring my hair in the bathroom, because like I said, I had to color my hair for all these years, right? Because I started having whitish, you know, salt and pepper hair at like 23, so I always colored my hair. And in fact, back in the day, he would cut my hair, and then we would go to like Mailey's or Cosmoprof or something like that, and he would buy the color for me, and then he showed me how to mix it, and I would mix it and color my own hair, because he got so sick and tired of having to color my hair, because I had to color it like every 2 to 3 weeks, right, to keep the roots down. Well, this one time, it was for this thing that I had. I don't know what it was. It was something work related that I had, but it was something where I was going to be in front of people talking like the next day. And I said, that weekend we had gone to buy the color, and he said, what do you, like, what color are you wanting the same? I said, well, I want to do something kind of a little bit different. And I had seen this picture, like I had an idea in my head, and he goes, what do you want? I said, like, I want like a warm brown. Okay, to me, I'm thinking like a chestnut dark brown, right? That's what I'm thinking. And he goes, what do you mean by warm? And I was like, you know, warm, like warm brown. You know, I just kept on saying that over and over and over again. So to him, warm, like, I don't know, I used some other words to explain it. But basically what he heard was like a burgundy brown. Like he was like a warm to like a hairstylist, he said, can mean like a reddish color. So he colors my hair, and it came out like burgundy brown. Like it was really a pretty color, but it was nothing that I wanted to be wearing every day. I wanted always like very like when I was in high school, sure, I would do anything different, but this, I wanted something very professional looking, and this was not. And I mean, today it would be, nobody would care, but back then I was like, you know. So it was beautiful color. It just was this burgundy brown, and I mean, I could have gone to work and it would have been completely fine, but I freaked. And I was like, oh, no. And he was like, well, what do you want me to do? Because it's too late to go get more color. We don't have any color for you. You can't not go to work tomorrow and miss this thing. And he was like, I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, okay, well, what should I do? And basically what he told me to do was that he recommended for me to go get some shampoo, and I think it was either Prel or like Mane and Tail or whatever, you know, at like Walmart. And I went there at like midnight and got this, and he said, you're gonna have to wash your hair. He goes, I don't think the color has set that strongly yet. He goes, you're gonna have to go and you're gonna have to wash your hair like 3 or 4 times till it strips your hair. There was some shampoo, I can't remember what it was, but he was like, I always tell people never to use this shampoo in, you know, on their color, because it'll just strip the color right off. And whatever it was, it stripped the color. I mean, I washed my hair like 4 or 5 times, 3 or 4 or 5 times, and by the time I was done, that color was gone from my hair. It was stripped. But I panicked that night. He was so nice. He was so patient with me. I was like, oh my God! I like looked in the mirror and it was like, I felt like it looked purple. It didn't. He was like, it looks fine. I was like, you know, and of course he had taken the time to do it, so I'm freaking out, and he had done me a favor. But anyway. He taught me all these tricks about like hair and stuff. Like when I was coloring it, he would always put like a quarter in at the bottom of the bottle and shake it up because it would dispense the color correctly. That was one of the things I did. We had like every towel was like stained from color and stuff because we constantly were coloring our hair. Well, I colored my hair a lot. And well, what I would do, since I was at home, was when I was coloring my own hair, I just would take my shirt off, and then I would just color my hair, and then when the time was up, I would, because we had like a timer that I would just set, you know, when the time was up, I would just get in the shower and wash it out in the shower. It was the easiest way. I mean, I look back on that, I cannot believe that I colored my hair for so long. I mean, as long as I did. And when he wasn't doing my hair, I was paying a stylist to do my hair, and then after he and I broke up, I was paying a stylist to do my hair. Paying a stylist a lot of money to do my hair, and it was expensive, you know. And all the color that I bought all those years, and I wish I hadn't felt the need to like keep it up for so long, you know? Like, I wish I would have realized the beauty in it as well, instead of feeling like I had to keep it up. I mean, I can remember kind of being like, when it started, like when my rootage was like came in white, like it is now, and where am I at on time? I can't see if it's like 23 or 28, but anyway, when my roots started coming in, and this was like in my late 20s, because it was salt and pepper before then, but when it started coming in where it was like this white under my color, I wouldn't say I panicked, but I was kind of like, my hair is white. Like the acceptance of knowing that and being like, I can't keep it up anymore, this like brown color, like eventually I just knew eventually I was gonna have to let it go, you know. And because I was like, especially when I got with Alex, you know, it was like I was having to get my hair colored like every 3 weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks, and towards the end it would even be like, I can't believe I have vlogged this long. I have like 15 minutes left to vlog for this, I think. Didn't I say like 2:15? Something like that? It's 2:01. I can't believe I've vlogged this long. But by the end of the 3 weeks, it would already like new growth would be coming through. It did age me overnight though, when I like let my hair go. Like, I remember when all of the color was out of my hair, and the first haircut that I got where it was like completely white like this, like before, and I was thinner too. I mean, mind you, like 10 years ago, I was a lot thinner. I was 190, so I was 70 pounds thinner than I am now. And even before that, I was like 175, 180, you know? But I was thinner, and I had just gotten the beard, and the beard wasn't as white as it is now either. That's the other thing, is the beard has like really gotten white through the years. But like people would guess me, like when I was first with Alex and I had brown hair and no beard and I was a lot thinner, people would guess me in my early 30s, you know? And when my hair went white and stuff, I mean, literally overnight, people guessed me in my 50s. I kind of wonder now, like, when my looks will meet up or match up to my age. Does that make sense? Like, when will I look like, when people will start saying, God, you look young for your age. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of wondering if that will ever happen in my life. Like, again, you know, that I'll be like 65 and people go, God, you look young for your age. Probably not. That's okay. Do you remember sleeping outside in a tent when you were a kid? Why don't you ever see people do that anymore? I'd always want to do it, but then I would get scared halfway through the night. Like me and the neighbor kids, we would do it or something, you know? Do you know what's something that's funny? I'm sitting here thinking about like things of summer, and I'm thinking about like home cooked meals in the summer versus the fall and versus the winter and stuff, because we definitely had like summer foods versus, you know, like winter foods and fall. I think everybody does, you know, like chili and meatloaf and stuff like that. But you know what's funny is, I mean, I'm a vegetarian now, so I can't eat a lot of those things anyway, but I miss a lot of those like home cooked meals and those nights of sitting down and just like talking with my mom or my dad, you know, like I miss that. Especially like, well, obviously with my mom because she's not here anymore, but like I miss those home cooked meals of like meatloaf, or hell, I don't even like homemade tacos, and I sometimes can just like miss homemade tacos so much. When we got together for my friend at her, well, when we got together at her house, for our Monday night group, and she made the taco tray and all that kind of stuff. Like, that was so much fun. And that night I made like a taco salad and stuff, and it was so good. Like, I really had a good time eating those. But like, I miss kind of like meatloaf and chicken pot pies and chicken a la king and chicken tetrazzini and chicken casserole, chicken and broccoli casserole. Casseroles I miss. God, I just loved casseroles back in the day. And I'd always say that to my mom, and she'd say, they're so easy to make. You know, cornflakes and a can of cream of chicken soup and broccoli and, oh, tuna casserole I used to love back in the day too. I never ate fish, but like tuna was the one thing that I could kind of eat. I liked tuna fish salad sandwiches, and I liked tuna casserole. Just so weird to me looking back on that. Do you know, I used to love from Subway their tuna salad sandwiches. Loved them. I would go to Subway. This was like one of my favorite things. I would go to Subway. This is up until right before I became a vegetarian this time. I would, which is going to be 4 years this upcoming month. Isn't that so crazy that I'll have been a vegetarian for 4 years? But anyway, I would go to Subway and I would get a foot-long tuna on whole wheat with pepper jack cheese, lettuce, onion, green peppers, banana peppers, light mayonnaise, and yellow mustard, and hot and black pepper. And then I would get that, and then I would go to, it stopped. I thought I still had more time on it. I could, before, when I was looking at it, I was like, is it at 23 or is it at 28? So it was at 23, and so then, I don't know, I thought I had more time. But anyway, so, and then I would go to the gas station, to Thornton's, and I would get a bag of the Harvest Cheddar what are those chips called? I love those chips so much. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Sun chips. Oh my God, I love sun chips. So I would go and get a bag of the Harvest Cheddar sun chips, and I would get a fountain root beer from the gas station, and then I would go home and I would just gorge myself on all of it, eating all of it. It was so good. But I always heard from people that worked at Subway that their tuna came like bagged and it was real gross, and I would always be like, don't tell me that, because it's like my favorite thing. I ate veggie subs for a long time, and I also ate the chicken, what do you call it, when it would like be like a piece of chicken. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I would eat those a lot too. It was like actually like a breast of chicken. I haven't been to Subway in a long time. Do you know what's interesting is that like often I'm like hungry for just like a sandwich, like a cold sandwich, but I don't want it from some kind of like fast place, like, you know, Jimmy John's or Subway or whatever. I want it from like, I don't know, somewhere a little bit more deli-ish. Back in the day, there used to be this restaurant. It was close to my house. My old supervisor actually introduced me to it, and it was called A Movable Feast, and they had the best sandwiches that were on like little baguettes of bread. They were so delicious. Well, I do love the Popeye, which is spinach, cream cheese, mushrooms, and then you dip it in this cucumber dressing from Basbo's. But anyway, this place called Movable Feast, it was this little restaurant you would go. I think it's like a pizza place now. You would walk in, and it only had room for like 2 tables. And they had like homemade coleslaw, which I always got, and it was delicious. I love homemade coleslaw. My friend and I, back in the day, we wanted to go across country, and we wanted to try coleslaw at all these different diners, and we were going to call our book Slaws of America. I don't know why I think that's so funny when I look back on that. Anyway, but I would get a sandwich. I think sometimes I got like 2 sandwiches because they were so good and they were kind of small. And then I would get big coleslaw and a drink. Oh my God, I loved that place. And it closed down years ago. Years and years ago. It was so good. I would always ask for my name, and I feel like the guy that owned the place, his name was Peter, because like his wife or somebody else that worked in there, she'd be like, oh, my husband's a Peter too. I remember her saying that like every time I came in there. We don't have very many like local mom and pop shops like that anymore. I wish we did, of like little, you know, sandwiches. Now, I will tell you, at Publix in Florida, somebody told me to get like one of their sandwiches down there, and I got one of their veggie sandwiches, and it was like unbelievable. It was like nothing that I had ever had before. It was so good. I couldn't even eat the whole thing like in one sitting, and I only got like a 6-inch one. I think, I don't remember how, maybe I got a foot long, I don't know. But it was so good, and it had like hummus on it and stuff. See, I wish we had a place like that here. If anybody lives in Indianapolis and you know of like a really good place on the north side that you can get like a sandwich like that, let me know, because there just really aren't that many places around here. And I just crave like sandwich and chips every once in a while, you know? I used to love the turkey croissant sandwich from, or turkey and ham club, maybe croissant it was. I don't remember what was on it. I do know that it had avocado on it, and I love avocado in a sandwich, from Chili's. But then they closed all the Chili's down around us. But I don't eat turkey and ham anymore anyway. I think it was a turkey, it was called the California croissant, California Club croissant, and it had like turkey and bean sprouts and avocado, and it was so good, and mayonnaise, and I loved it. And it came on a croissant, and then it came with fries, and I always got that at Chili's. My friend and I, her kids are older now, so she's always at home with them, but so we used to go to meetings, like when her kids were with their dad, we would go to meetings like every other weekend together, like both nights. And well, not both nights, because Friday nights were always like Alex and I's date nights. It would have been Saturday night. Maybe it was like a Thursday night or something. I don't know. But we would go like to Chili's one night, and then like the other night, she and I would go to a meeting, and then we would like go to Jack in the Box, which is like some of the worst fast food in the world, but they have really, really good egg rolls, I will say that. But we would go to Jack in the Box, and we would get like cheeseburgers and fries and onion rings and stuff, and we would take it back to her house. And we would sit in her little kitchen, which was so cute. And she had like old dinette set from the 50s that was so adorable. And her walls were painted red. I remember, I loved it. And we would sit there and eat like late at night. And then we would go out on her back patio, which you could hear just all the crickets late at night. And we would just like talk about recovery. And she was like newer in recovery. She'd been sober at that time, I think like 3 years. And we would talk about sobriety and recovery, and we would drink coffee and talk for hours. And she always played this one station on her like TV, you know, like it has music stations, and it would play the Smiths every once in a while. The Pixies and the Smiths, which I loved the Smiths back in the day. Some of the Pixies songs I liked though, but it would play, the song that it always played by the Smiths was Well I Wonder. And I downloaded it because like one night when I was there, I was like, oh, I love this song, and I Shazammed it and downloaded it. And every time it comes up on my iTunes, I always think of her, because we would sit there and listen to that station while in the background while we were, she's the one that like read all the Harry Potter books to her kids, and then like she would read to them like 10 pages before they would go to bed, and then she would come out into the living room and she would read like another 50 more, because she had to find out what happened, because she loved them so much, the Harry Potter books. She was like obsessed with them. You know, she's a good example of like somebody that was like been a really dear friend of mine in my life, and like nothing happened but like life, you know what I mean? And I don't think we talk enough about that like in the world, that like, I think I just hit the well, I'm like a minute away from like the 3-hour mark, if I'm not there already. Woo! 3-hour vlog, 3-hour vlog. Well, my clock just turned to 2:15, so I think that I'm at the 3-hour mark, but I could be wrong. Well, I had to change my battery, so maybe not. But anyway, you know, she and I were super, super close. When I came back into the rooms, there were a couple people that I became very, very close to, a couple women. One of which I became super close with, and she had kids that were with their dad every other weekend too. And so I feel like maybe back and forth, like the weekends that she had her kids, the other woman didn't, and back and forth. I don't know how, but anyway, you know, a lot of these people that so when I came back into the rooms, I was going to meetings a lot, and because I was going to meetings so much, I was meeting a lot of people that were going to meetings as much as I was, right? But the majority of the people that I was going to meetings with that were going every single day were mostly newcomers, because that's kind of more of a newcomer thing. I mean, after you've been sober for, you know, there were a lot of older people that came to meetings every day because they weren't working anymore and they were retired and stuff. But the majority of the people that were coming every day to the noon meeting were people that had anywhere from like, let's say 0 days or 1 day to like 3 or 4 years, because they still hadn't like gone back and gotten full-time jobs yet, or, you know, they were still like working their sobriety, living in halfway houses, things like that. So those were a lot of the people that I was meeting, right? Well, and 3 or 4 years is pushing it. I would say anywhere from like first year to like third year, second year. So there's something like way out in that field that is lit up. It's so weird. What is that? It's just like, looks like somebody is standing out there in the middle of that field. It literally looks like a person was standing out there on that field. But you know, it's like, then what happened was we hung out and we got really, really tight. And then over time, they started going to less and less meetings because, you know, they moved. They were able to buy houses or, you know, move from one house to another, and they started getting new jobs, and their lives started changing, or they dated people, you know, because when you're sober, you get your life back, right? And I'm happy for them that they have that. But the reality is that my life kind of stayed status quo, and their life started changing to some degree. And so I started seeing them less and less and less. And nothing happened. We didn't ever get in any fight or, you know, whatever. I mean, I could call them up tomorrow and be like, hey, what's going on? You know, and they'd be like, oh, I know that they'd be happy to hear from me, you know, and I'd be happy to hear from them if they called me. Just life happened, you know? And I think a lot of that happens in our world, you know, and in our lives. Not even just in sobriety. It's like friends of mine from high school. You know, we were so close. There was like 5 or 6 of us that were so close in high school that I literally thought, like, I would talk to them all the time. And I just actually texted a friend of mine from high school the other day to ask her a question about something. And I hadn't talked to her in like 2 years. And it was just something totally random that I knew that she would know. And so we were kind of texting back and forth a little bit. But, you know, it's so weird. It's like, these friends of mine from high school specifically, like, I always thought that we would be in each other's lives, like, at least talking once a week. I don't even think back then I thought it would just be once a week. I thought it would be like, I mean, I realized that we would move on and get married and have families and stuff, but I still thought we would all stay close. Like, I don't talk to any of my friends from high school, like, hardly ever. And I was the one that, like, tried to stay in contact the longest. And I think they would say that too. I think they would say, yeah, Peter, you know, he kept on calling and, you know, whatever, but life just happens. And it's not like anything bad happened. It's just life happened, you know, and kind of everybody went their separate ways. And it's like my old roommate. It's like I got an email from her on my birthday. I mean, I honest to God, I thought we would, like, live next to each other for the eternity of our lives. I mean, we were so close. We were literally like brother and sister. And everybody said it. They were like, oh my God, you guys are so, so, so close. Like, my mom even said it, you know, and my dad and everybody and our friends, everybody was like, oh my God, I've never seen anybody so close. I mean, we lived together. We slept in the same bed together for like 2 years. We shared a bed. Nothing ever happened, obviously, because we were just friends. But, like, I mean, we were so close, you know? We shared the same bed because we couldn't afford a different apartment and we only had 1 bedroom. But, I mean, we had so much fun back then, you know? And that was when we were drinking too. And then I got sober. And then she's who I got my next apartment with my first boyfriend. The 3 of us moved into an apartment together. But, like, I mean, she lives in Berlin now, you know? I mean, how are we supposed to see each other regularly? And I actually keep up with her, even though we don't talk very often. We talk more often than most of my other friends and I ever did from back in the day. But it's just hard, you know? It's like life goes on, and I don't know, you know? It's like, I think the other thing is too, like, I went out to dinner a couple years ago, or lunch, with a friend of mine from high school. Well, 2 of my friends, or twins, came to visit. Well, they came because their father had passed away, so they were here for the funeral. But when they were here, we, like, all hung out together. And that night was, like, literally no time had passed. We drove around and listened. And my one friend was, like, the one sister. She was like, can we listen to, like, old music? And I already had a playlist, like, all queued up. And we listened to, like, the Smiths and the Cure and all this stuff that we used to listen to back in the day. And New Order, you know, and all that. And we went back to my other friend. She has a house here, a condo, and we got pizza and sat around. It was real fun. It was like no time had passed, you know? But then I went out to lunch a couple years ago with another friend of mine, and I can remember just sitting there, and it was like, our lives really aren't that different, she and I. There's like a car just like sitting here with its hazard lights on the side of the road. This is kind of weird. I feel like, Anyway, I feel like I saw that van pulled over somewhere else with its hazard lights on, but not there, somewhere other place when I was vlogging today. Anyway, but you know, like, we were so close, like, at one point in our lives, shared everything with each other, and I was looking at her and I was thinking to myself, you know, like, how do I explain, like, my friendship with Tanya of 24 years? How do I explain my friendship with, like, Melissa and Jay? You know, it's like, I don't have to, but at the same time, it's like, I have a whole other life, like, since then, you know? And I don't know. I think at some point as you start getting older, you realize that some of those friendships from back in the day, unless you, like, meet up again later in life and rekindle that friendship, some of those friendships are never going to be the same as they were before. And it's sad, and it's true, but it's just kind of a reality, you know? I don't know, my mom, later in life, she kind of rekindled some friendships that she had had earlier in her life. And started talking to people again. Like, she would go to her high school reunion and she would, like, meet up with people and she would start talking to people again and stuff like that. I've had friends of mine that, like, gone through divorces and they met people that, like, not high school friends of mine, but just friends of mine in general that, like, that I didn't go to high school with, but they're my age, let's say. And they went through a divorce and then they went to their high school reunion, or they started talking to, like, an old boyfriend from high school that they hadn't literally talked to in, like, 30 years or 25 years or whatever, you know? 20 to 30 years, somewhere in there. Typically, and like an old boyfriend from high school or college that they, like, started talking to again and then started dating again, like, all these years later, you know? Interesting, isn't it? So I don't know. I know that time marches on, and I just don't think that I want to look back anymore. I was really the person, you know, when we were in high school, like, one of the movies that we all loved, me and my friends, was The Big Chill. And we always thought that that would be like us, that we would meet up later, you know, and we would talk back about, we would, you know, talk back. We would look back on our lives and talk about the good times and we were all hanging out and we were friends and all that kind of stuff. I would love to have a reunion with my friends from high school, just my close friends. Like, if we had a high school reunion and they could all come, and then, like, one night we all just got together at, like, my house or somebody's house and we all just, like, hung out and talked like the old days. Like, I would love that, right? But the one thing is that alcohol and other stuff was very much involved in all of that. Not always, but a lot of it was, you know, and it just was a different time. I'm not that person that I was back then, you know what I mean? Like, and I think, which is interesting because, like, a lot of my friends, like, from high school and whatever, they're always like, you're the least changed, you know, like, you're the one that, but I think part of that is that for so long I was, even though I don't feel like I'm the same person that I was then, I think for so long I lived in this shadow of fear of really being myself, you know? And I think, you know, alcohol really, and other drugs, like, really made that easier for me to be myself, whereas today I just am like, hey, this is who I am, you know? I love those girls that I was friends with in high school. They saved my life. They absolutely saved my life. They allowed me to feel included in a group, which I had never felt before in school, really, with the exception of the two girlfriends I was friends with, like, in 6th grade, but that was short-lived. I never felt part of anything in school before, and they let me feel part of something. And not only that, but they were tough, and they made me feel, you know, that, like, somebody had my back. I mean, because they did. They definitely had my back. And I had a lot of fun, you know, with them. I wouldn't have had any fun in high school whatsoever. Just getting dressed up on a fall night and going to go eat at some restaurant or something was so much fun. You know, I loved all of that. We did a lot of that when I was in high school. I don't know. There was a long time where I felt like I wish I could just have one more moment with all of my girls from high school, just being like how it used to be. But I think today I'm able to look back and appreciate it for what it was at that time. And I don't know that I need to do that today. You know, I would love to have a reunion, like I just said, and get together and whatever, and I think that would be a real kick. I think it would be real fun to talk about all that kind of stuff. But I also, like, I don't pine over it like I used to, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what's interesting is that almost none of my friends that I went to high school with had kids. Like, only one. No, that's not true, two. But the second girl I wasn't that close with in high school. But only one of my really close friends in high school had kids. Isn't that so strange? And everybody kind of went into things I never thought that they would. All went into completely different things. I mean, if I had to like write out and guess what my friends would look like, you know, 30 years down the road, I would never have said like, this is what I think their lives are gonna look like. As hard as high school was for us though, you know what, I'll say one thing, we're still here. We're still here. So, well, listen, you guys, I made it the 3 hours. Can you believe I made it over 3 hours? I think I made it like 3 hours and 10 minutes or something like that. So, I'm getting ready to pull into the gas station up here and get some gas. It didn't even like take me that long. I mean, I'm still at like a quarter tank of gas, just a little bit underneath it. So I didn't lose that much gas, but I do want to listen to my audiobook tonight. I could actually just keep on talking forever. I could talk for another 45 minutes and make it a 4-hour vlog, but I think that's a lot. If you guys like this though, like maybe in August I'll do another one if anybody watches it, you know. Let me know if you liked the 3-hour vlog. Are you still a vloggerino after the 3-hour vlog? If you made it to the very end, okay? If you made it to the very end, let's think of a emoji. If you made it to the very end, put a crying face emoji. I had fun. This was fun today. I feel very accomplished. I feel like I filmed a lot of videos today. I did my 3-hour vlog. I get to listen to my audiobook now. I might watch a TV show before I go to bed. Have a little bit of late night snack with my poke bowl. It's been a good day. It's been a really, really amazing, a magically amazing day. So, all right, I'm gonna get off here now and be kind to one another. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Like it says in the 4 agreements, always lead with love. Let's put some kindness, let's put some love, kindness, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, no tolerance. No tolerance too, I guess. And magic, wonder, and awe. Hope, faith, and courage out there into the world, but most importantly, love. Most importantly, let somebody know how much they mean to you today. Text them, call them, send a postcard. Say, hey, I just wanted you to know how much I was thinking of you. And also, like I always say, practice random acts of kindness, but also, like I always say, don't tell anyone, just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a nice thing to do. It's a good thing to do, just to put some kindness and love out there in the world. And I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for watching, all you vloggerinos. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya! You didn't really think I was going to go through all of this and then not do. Are you ready? One more, I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!